Hey, 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 it is Thursday. What's up, what's up, what's up? Good to see everybody's here today. I'll explain what happened last night here in a few. Thank you all for joining me today. I do appreciate you all so very much. Mama Bear will be joining me today as my lovely co host, as always. I do appreciate that. It's great to see all the meatballs here jumping in the sauce with me today and seeing what we can come up with, guys. We're having an open discussion today on current and previous cases we've been working on. Plenty to talk about in that sense, folks. Plenty to talk about. So again, thank you guys for joining me. So I say, hey, let's get the ball rolling, folks. All right. What just happened? Good Lord, why did I do that? Hold on, folks. Sorry. I'm going to drag this back over here. I don't know what is going on with my computer. Hello. How are we doing today, everybody? I did something to my computer. I don't know what it is I did. How did that even happen? I drug something over where it shouldn't be. And I can't get it to move now. What the hell is going on? This is insane. Hold on, folks. Good to see everybody. Thank you guys for joining me today. I do appreciate you all for being here. Very much so. What is this? Hang on, guys. Hope everything... wait a minute. Did I fix it? I think I did. Maybe. Well, I pray. There we go. What's up, everyone? How we doing today? Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today. What a day it's been, guys. Doctor's appointments. I had to go to court for my child. It's just been busy. So that is why I am late, guys. But I'm here now. And thank you all for joining me today. Great to have you, folks. Great to be here. Mama Bear will be joining me here in just a moment. All right. Let's see who we got here, guys. Who we got here today with us? Miss Cece, the sweetest lady on the internet. Thank you so much for joining us today. Great to see you. Miss Brandy, as always, thank you for being here. Miss Brady was number one today. First one in here. She was waiting on me, guys. Waiting. Let's see. Kiki's Eyes. It's great to see you. Thanks for joining us today. Mrs. M, always a pleasure, my dear. Great to have you. Popper, my brother. Good to have you, bro. Good to see you. Good golly, Miss Molly Cat's in the house, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me today, Molly girl. It's good to see you. Let's see. Big boy, what's up? Thanks for joining us today. It's great to have you here. Miss Green Eyes, so great to have you. So great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us today. Life, love, and true crime. Always great to see you, my dear. And I'm so happy to see you. Drift, what's up, brother? Thanks for joining us today. Thank you for being here. I'm glad to see that you have seemed to become part of the family, my friend, and it's so great to have you. So great to have you. And anybody else that is new, thank you guys for being here with us. We appreciate you. There he is, the lover of logic, my brother Red. Thanks for joining us, Red. Great to see you today, friend. Good to see you. My brother from down south, Mr. Mike. What's up, bro? I hope you're enjoying your weather because I know I'm not. Actually, today it's beautiful outside, folks. It's really beautiful. And we're getting a snowstorm tomorrow, so figure that one out. Gotta love it. T2014, thanks for joining us today. It's great to see you. As always, sunshine. I got sunshine on my mind because it's all around me today, guys. I love it. Thanks for joining us, sunshine. Great to see you. Great to see you all. Miss Pamela Gribben over the pond. How are you? There is the lovely Miss Pamela Gribben. Looks like I got most of my team here today so far. We're getting there. Molly's here. Pamela's here. Miss Mama Bear's on her way. And I think I see her coming. She's running down the hall, folks. She's almost here. Wait, don't trip and fall. Make it. And there she is. Hello.
Hey.
Thank you. I know that was kind of really stupidly dramatic, but whatever. It was fun.
It was fun.
Welcome. Thanks for joining me today.
Yeah.
I don't even want to hear this, dude. He's doing this on purpose. Ugh. It's getting hot quick. We're supposed to hit the 90s. Whatever. Who cares?
I don't want the 90s. My AC doesn't work.
Yeah, right. Mine doesn't either. I have to pull out the giant air conditioners and put them in the windows, and I ain't doing it. So no. Stay down in the 70s, and I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah. Actually, 50s, 60s, I'd be happy with.
I like 72 to 74. I'm really comfortable. If the sun's shining, I'm very happy with that. And you guys wouldn't see me. I'd be outside. I'd come up with some kind of an excuse like, I got diarrhea. I can't do it today. And I'd be outside. So something like that. I'm just saying. I'm just kidding. I'd never do that to you guys. I would be honest with you as I always am. Although I do got to tell you, and I need to apologize for not being. Holy hell, Mama Bear. How long is your hair? Good God. You've got some long hairs.
And I probably cut 4 inches or so off of it a couple months ago.
We need to start calling you Miss Crystal Gale or what? That's long hair. Of course. Didn't realize it. That explains the braid you always have. You got to keep it out of your face and stuff. That's insane.
And with the wind like it is today, it's going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah, I bet. That's crazy. It's very, very pretty, though. So good deal. Because it's hard to keep long hair like that, guys. It really is. That's a lot of work. Washing and conditioning and brushing and blow drying and whatever else you got to do. I'm over that stuff.
Just do all that. Just go to bed.
Right. God forbid you were to go to bed with wet hair. We'd have a creature on the panel with us because that ain't no fun. My granddaughter, we've never cut her hair. You guys know Junie. You guys have seen her. Her hair is down to almost like right at her lower back, right above where her butt would be. And she's got naturally curly hair. So if she gets wet hair, if we don't dry it and she goes to bed, you got to call in a National Guard to get her hair fixed. It's insane. And she's very tender headed. And if you pull on her hair, she freaks out on you. So it's a disaster. I'm telling you, it is a disaster at times. So I am so happy to be here with you guys today. I need this therapy today. It's been a effed up few days. I'll put it that way. I had to go to court in regards to my oldest son today.
And the phone rings. Record timing.
Of course it does. And I had a doctor's appointment. And then yesterday I dealt with all this stupid internet shit. And my apologies for not doing the show last night. It was because they were working on this and they almost had everything done. And they changed out the tap, which is the main part where it sits up on your pole or on the line, wherever you guys are at. And the tap is where your line goes from the tap to your house. And then the internet signal goes into the tap. Well, as I was corrected yesterday when I said the tap was 27 years old and needed change, which is 90% of where my problem was coming from. So when he was taking it, it was so old that when he was taking it apart yesterday to fix it, at the very end, it broke. And he broke a piece off that went to the line that had to go back into the tap when he did it. So he had to go all the way back to the office at 6 o'clock last night and said, I can't come back out tonight to fix this. So here we are.
Yeah.
Which is why it took me so long to post that I wasn't going to be able to do it because I thought I was going to until that happened. So my apologies. We will catch it up, guys. We'll make it up somewhere down here. And we will go from there.
So is it fixed now?
It seems to be. Knock on wood. They were out. I told him, I said, I'm going to need you to be here. I knew I had all this stuff to do and that I was probably going to be running late. I said, but I'm going to need you to be here when you wake up in the morning. Not at 11, not at noon, not at 1. I want you here before your coffee. And he laughed. I said, I'm not smiling. I'm serious. I want this fixed. I'm done with this.
Yeah.
And he was like, I get it. I got it. I promise it'll be okay. You shouldn't have any more problems. I said, we will see about that. And I'll judge that. And believe me, I'm promising you right now because they made the mistake of giving me 2 of their personal phone numbers. And I just laughed. I just laughed when he gave them to me. As I put them in my phone, I'm laughing, going, You sure you want me to have this number, right? Absolutely. We want you to have the best possible service. I said, I'm going to tell you something right now. With what I've been through for the past year and a half, I'm going to call this number. And if it's 3:00 in the morning, I'm going to call this number. I don't care anymore at this point. Which I probably won't do it at 3 in the morning, but you know what I'm saying. I said, I'm letting you know you will be hearing from me personally, probably not happily, but it's going to happen if this happens anymore. Oh, no. You should be really good. I'm really, really confident you're good. We'll see. And little things here or there, because of I know how far the signal is traveling to get to me, I'll let it slide. If the shit goes out and starts doing what it was doing the past week, you're going to be hearing from me, both of you. I'll call both of you. I'll take my wife's phone and I'll take my phone and I will call you both at the same time and scream at you both at the same time as we're doing this because I'm sick of this. So the one guy was like, the one guy that has been here that keeps coming around, he knows. And the other guy's name is Robert. And he was like, listen, Rob, I'm telling you right now, he ain't playing. He goes, I've been here probably 13 times in a year and a half. He ain't playing. So be expecting a phone call if anything goes wrong, and it ain't going to be a pretty one. He goes, I already know how it's going to go. He goes, so I hope whatever you did up there, you did, because the one guy was in my house doing everything. Everything is brand new, folks. Everything.
Awesome.
My modem's brand new. I have a brand new drop line. I have a brand new tap. I have a brand new line that runs to the tap. They replaced the exterior line too. And from what I understand, they're supposed to be going to the end of the road where it gets because it's tied into. Check this one out. This is too much for me. I love it. It's tied into Spectrum's cable lines.
Oh, geez.
What? And yesterday, when they had the break, quote unquote, in West Virginia that came to here, guess whose line that was? Spectrum.
Oh, geez.
I said, why don't you guys have your own lines? He goes, well, we're such a small company that we can't afford. Then just sell your company to Spectrum, and that way they will come here and we will have what we need to have.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway.
Oh, Lord.
So that's why we didn't do the thing last night, folks, but we will be doing it. I promise you. And I appreciate your guys' patience through all of this. I really do appreciate that, guys. Most people would have just said, screw this guy. He's got the shittiest show I've ever seen because his internet sucks, whatever. And you didn't. Even the new people are still coming back. So I appreciate that. I don't know why. I'm not questioning it. I love you guys to death for doing it and for supporting me. And once again, I have to say, to Mama Bear and Molly and Nikki and Heather and Brandy and all you guys, my mods, you guys have been amazing through all of this crap and everything else. What Mama Bear did by going live for me and this and that, I can't ever thank any of you enough. I absolutely love each and every one of you for everything you do for me and have done for me. Please don't ever forget that.
Wow.
And it proves a lot to me, folks. As much as I doubt myself on a regular basis, because I do, they all hear it. They all watch me talk down about myself, and then they cuss me out because of it and yell at me because of it, and so on and so forth. It does prove that my moderators are very, very much so dedicated to me in this channel, and they very much care for me. To an extreme amount, in some senses. Molly scared the hell out of me yesterday, by the way. You guys know that I live in Ohio and I'm very close to where this train derailment was. We've talked about that. Transporter, what's up? Good to see you. Miss CC also cares deeply about me as another moderator. I have to say, like, between her and Molly and Nikki and Mama Bear and even Brandy, Heather has said things to me. I am getting sent all this stuff about the derailment stuff. I have people checking my water table and my wells, folks, to find out if I'm in danger of it. And like, they know things about me that I don't know. That kind of weirded me out at first, but I understand. Molly does what she does. I even asked, I'm like, how did you do this? She goes, because I'm me. That was her answer. And I said, well, you're right. That's who she
Yeah.
is. And that shows how much she cares about me. And that made me and my wife just, it brought tears to my eyes that anybody would give two shits enough about me to even worry about that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So thank you, Molly, and all of you for caring. I really do. It means more to me than I can ever explain to you in words. So, um, shut up, Nikki. I get it. I get it. You guys are all dedicated, and I really, 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 it's here, guys. It's right here. Just so you know. Welcome, Kim. Good to see you, Miss Nikki. Stop wandering around and sit still in here for a while, and you're good to go, Miss Wandering Orphan. PPR, what's up, brother? Thank you for joining me today again. You are lucky, Dago. Not everyone has true friends. You're absolutely correct, and I have them all right here. My community is I can't even. I've said this time and time again, but it doesn't make any sense to me still. I don't know what I did to deserve to have this. I still don't get it. It is what it is. I am 35 miles away from it, Drift. Like literally 35 miles southwest of it, southwest of it, yeah.
You were either north or south of the derailment and the opposite of the other.
The opposite of the other one, yeah, exactly. I was 35 miles, and it's exactly the same both ways. It's so weird.
Oh, geez.
It's like somebody put me right in the middle and said, "All right, deal with this, bro." I'm 35 miles southwest of the train derailment, and I'm 33.5 miles northwest of the factory explosion that blew up. And I got confused because I thought there was a secondary. We did have two explosions. One of them was just a blast furnace in a coke plant, and it not coke plant as in a coke plant. It's like a steel mill, and they use what they call a coke plant to process their steel. But some people, I don't want you getting into like, yeah, we got factories around here that make our drugs. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, and that blew up the day before. There's a lot of crazy shit going on, folks. We just need to stick together, watch each other's backs, and push forward in our lives. The only thing we can do, guys. It's all we can do. Please stock up on baking soda, peroxide, and vitamin C.
That's pretty much how he does it, though, PPR. Anytime we do anything good for him.
What? What did I miss?
He said, I wouldn't know what to do if I had friends that checked on me like that. I'd poop my pants. They'd say, oh, hey, I researched this and don't drink your water. I'd go,
That is what happens, Dustin. To be honest with you, that's exactly what happens. You know, it is what it is. I didn't deep dive and take 3 pages of notes per year for him not to reprint. I know I have so much stuff I can't even look at it, guys. My phone swore at me. Okay, I'll put it that way. My phone went off last night about 11:30. It beeped, and it like I saw smoke coming out of the sides of it, and then it said, "Hey, Dago guy, F you, bye," and it shut off because that's how much shit was coming through my phone. I mean, I'm obviously exaggerating, but yeah, I have so much stuff. I've been researching it myself. I am definitely, here's the fuck, so that you guys understand where the derailment happened and where the water table is for the wells and stuff like that is here. Okay. Where I'm at and where we're located, my well and everything is up here above it. So we're above it, and it's going south and down, and I'm up here and I'm north, if that makes any sense. So therefore it's not going to get to my water table at all. But what I did find out is that the water that I have shipped in that I drink has been tainted. So now I have a contract with this water company that brings my water in. Okay, I signed a contract. I think it's every 6 months we have to re-sign or whatever. But anyway, I have to pay $300 to get out of that contract, and then get a new contract with a new water company because the water that we have, they said it was safe, but now it's down from the area that it is. So now I have to get rid of that.
No, because when you signed that contract, it was for clean water, not tainted, contaminated, or anything else. They need to let you out of that contract.
They should, but they're claiming that they treat their water, that their water's fine. And then I watched on 20. It was one of the local news media channels that said it's right here, it's right there. Don't tell me that this isn't everywhere, because it is. It's way,
Right.
way bigger. And I'm kind of ashamed of our EPA right now, because
Mhm.
they have been gaslighting the shit out of people, guys. And the people that, I mean, we're not as in as much trouble per se as the people that are down and around that area. I'd say within a 15 to 25-mile radius around that area is in bad trouble. And they're gaslighting these people so bad. The schools are going, they're doing this, they're doing that, and everything else. Here's $1,000. Shut your mouth, be happy, and walk away. What the F, excuse my language, is somebody gonna do with $1,000 who just lost everything?
Right.
They have nothing. There's a family that owns a farm, guys, that was literally, I think it was like 75, maybe 100 yards away from where the blast site that they blew it up at, right? So they were in the hospital the day that the burn happened, delivering their first child.
Oh no.
And they have a farm. The farm is their livelihood. They have goats and chickens and pigs, oh my, and cows and horses and everything. Okay. And then he was on the news, and they had to get the child taken care of, blah blah blah. That was all good. And then they send you home after 3 days. You can't stay there. Well, this is where they have to be, because he has to take care of the farm, and the mother did too. She's home with the newborn, like brand new, just took the wrapper off the baby. Okay. I'm scared to death for them myself, because we all know that infants are susceptible to everything and anything, and their system is not strong enough to fight any of that shit off. Okay. And his animals and his livestock have been dropping left and right. He's lost a pig. He's lost some chickens. His neighbor lost all her chickens. And that was the day the day after it happened. She went out the next morning. They were all dead. I mean, it's just like, what's up, K-Dips? I feel so bad for these people. And if I were them, I would just, I hate to say this, guys, I love animals. I'd have to walk away. I'd take my child and my wife, and I would run as far away from this as I could, because, what else are you going to do? And at the same time, this is their livelihood. This is how they make their money. If they don't have this, they don't have anything, guys. And their well is right there. The well that they have feeds their home, their barns, everything. Not to mention the creek that runs right behind their house that is completely and totally overrun with toxins. They threw a rock into the pond. Now you tell me that they're telling them that this water is fine. They did a video on this. They threw a rock into the water and it bubbled like a witch's brew. Like, what? That's fine. Water don't bubble like that.
No.
And the sheen was clearly all the way across the water. It looked like a rainbow. Yeah. It's all petroleum based. You know it's there. And when they take a stick and stir up the bottom, you can see patches, like little circular patches of the chemicals sitting at the bottom of the river. It's like, I can't get past it. It blows my mind. So their cows and horses all drink out of that stream. They had to, of course, there's a fence there, but they're not able to let their cows and horses out to that pasture anymore, because they can't. Deer, rabbits, squirrels, possums, raccoons, cats and dogs, if they're around it, they all drink from streams like that, guys. And it's going through the circle of life, because let the deer go ahead and drink from the stream, and then they run off. And in 7 months, when hunting season comes back around, and a hunter goes and kills that deer, if it survives, I should say, that's going to be into the meat of the deer. In turn, who's going to eat that meat? You see what I'm saying? It just, these things they're not putting that stuff out there. They're not thinking about that stuff.
Right. Or they go to hunt and there's nothing to hunt because it's all dead.
That's the other side of it. Yeah. There's been Initially, it was 1,000. Then it went to 3,500, 5,000, 10,000. At some point now, I think they're talking about 35,000 fish are dead.
Oh my gosh.
That's a whole ecosystem, folks.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
huge.
the ground. This is a farm town, by the way. A lot of crops are grown out here, corn and wheat and soy, big time. Again, people's income, but people live off this stuff, right? The ground is tainted. You can't, and they're saying that they're taking that Norfolk Southern is coming in to take the bad soil out. How do you know how much of it's bad? Like it seeps,
Right.
okay? And they're taking it. Where are they taking it? Where I want to know where they're taking this bad soil.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to go very far, and we have a couple other places around here that provide excavating services that take and remove and bring in dirt and soil and stuff like that. And you have to be certified to take like tainted soil like this and dispose of it the correct way. Nobody around here is. So they're going to gaslight people and say, well, we did this and we did that, when they probably just took it and dumped it somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it's going to be
We're just
contaminated.
spreading the contaminants.
Exactly. Thank you. This is insane, folks. It makes no sense to me. None of it. We had Aaron Brockovich is going to be there tomorrow. I'm sure you all know who that is, and she's going to give everybody the like. This is what your rights are. Trump was there yesterday. I don't know what the hell he can do, but he was there. He said that he's backing them. I don't know. It is K-Dips, a miniature version of Chernobyl in a sense.
Well, that's what I've heard it called on the news.
Way miniature, but still, it's there. Well, I mean, yeah, Drip, you're right. Take out farming and hunting. So then we have lab-grown food. Do you trust that? Because I don't. I don't trust anybody else to grow my food. God knows what chemicals they're using to do that. And you know what I'm saying? Well, you got a tomato this big. That's great. How did you make it that big? Because that ain't natural.
Exactly.
I don't trust it. I just don't. I would not want it. I want to grow my own food because at this point, you know, as expensive as everything is, we've all been talking about doing that anyway. Having our own gardens and doing this and that to cut costs because nobody can afford to eat.
Yeah.
And now these people can't even do that, guys. I have a bad feeling that East Palestine, Ohio is going to end up like the town I showed you in Pennsylvania, Centralia, Pennsylvania, that the whole underneath the ground was on fire and they've had to evacuate the town. It's a ghost town. It's just sitting there dying and rotting. But I have a feeling that this town is going to end up like that, and they're going to end up cordoning the town off when they find exactly where all the contaminants are, and it's just going to sit there and die.
Yeah.
Again, all because this is what makes me mad. I found this out yesterday. I watched the video. That train went through Salem, Ohio about an hour and a half before the derailment happened, okay? And it was videoed on CCTV. You could see, I think I even showed you guys, you could see the one whole car underneath that was flaming where the bearing had gone bad. It was spinning and it was causing fire.
Oh.
They have sensors on the train, folk, on the engine. I have a friend that's an engineer that works for Conrail. Okay, my town that I live in is a railroad town. I'll just put it that way. It was literally on fire. Therefore, sensors are going off in the engine to the conductors and the engineers. They could have stopped right there in Salem, put the fire out, disconnected the car and ran it off to the side, moved along with their trip, and none of this would have happened. And they're saying that if they would have stopped, they would have gotten fired. That's bullshit. I don't want to hear that. Don't say that because you're wrong. You guys weren't doing your job. You failed. End of story. And you caused this. Yeah. Live with that for the rest of your life. You caused this because you're lazy and you don't ever need to be in the cab of a train again ever in your life, because this is what you've done to millions upon millions of people. Sleep with
Right.
that every night.
I
Makes me
couldn't.
sick. Makes me sick. Welcome, Sylvia. Thanks for joining us again today. K Dips, I don't know if I said it, but thank you for joining me. Where are we at here?
Heard what's happening here in the UK. Our supermarkets say they will run out totally of produce, vegetables, tomatoes, cucumbers. In
Oh my
some
goodness.
places, the shelves are already empty.
Welcome, Grandma Bunny.
Wow.
Thank you for that super chat, Grandma Bunny. I do appreciate you so very much.
Yeah, they're predicting a housing market
Oh yeah.
this
Yeah.
spring,
Yep.
like the 2008 crash.
Everything's falling apart,
Yep.
top to bottom. And I'm not going to get in, and we're not going to get into any kind of political talk because there's things going on there. So we're leaving that alone.
Yes, we are.
Not that I don't want to talk to you guys, but I'm not doing it because it causes bad things to happen. So we're just not going to do it. 33 beautiful people in here, guys. Please, please, please leave me some DNA on that like button, guys, so I can come find you later on and drag you right back in here with us. Please do that.
We got 23 thumbs up. We need 10 more.
That's right. That's right. Come on. The other 10 of you guys, at least just click that button.
You can unclick it later.
Don't worry. Don't worry about the DNA thing. I won't come get you right away. I promise you. Hold on, folks. I'm trying to set something up for it to work. But thank you all for joining me today. I do appreciate you so very much.
The engineer ran head office and reported the wheel bearing fire. They were told to drive. Whoops, where'd it go? They were told to drive to the next hot box detector to confirm it wasn't a false alarm.
Thank you, Grandma Bunny. I appreciate you. I mean, I'm sorry. That's pure ignorance, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Thank you, Miss Heather, so very much. Anybody that would like to donate to support me or the channel, please feel free. And definitely greatly appreciative of it at this point. There are the Venmo, Cash App, and the PayPal links. Thank you so very much. Miss Jody Walters, good to see you. And thank you for your DNA. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's insane, Red. I've heard that too. Creekside Springs supposedly kept bottling water and selling it.
Oh.
And when people die from that, they should be charged with homicide. I'm sorry. Or murder, whatever you want to call it. It needs to happen. It's just that's the same thing, in my opinion, as somebody contracting HIV and moving on with whatever they do in life and never telling anybody they have it. Same thing, guys.
Yep.
Jackie Cunningham, greetings from Scotland. Hello. That's awesome.
Yay.
Thank you for joining us today, Jackie. I appreciate you so very much. We got people everywhere, and I love that. I love it. The UK, Australia, Scotland, Ireland, New Zealand, South Africa, guys. Did you guys know there was somebody in here from South Africa that we have? Everywhere. I love it. I am super excited that we have such a large family and we are spread out all over the place, guys. And I thank you so much for being here. I really do. So very much. I do. I need some pins and a map, and I'll put it up and show you guys where you guys are all at as compared to us. That's amazing. Thanks for being here, Jackie. I appreciate you. There were stories today that a lady tried buying 100 cucumbers from Little. They refused to serve and made money. I guess she was going to resell them double the price. Gougers. Gotta love it. Miss Kim Marin, I don't know if I told you, but thank you for joining us today. Big boy, do me a favor since we're all in here. This is interesting to me. Again, guys, let's throw out there where everybody's tuning in from. I'm just curious now to see who we got in here today. We got 31 people. Not as many as we had, but 31 people. Let's see where you guys are all at right now. Of course, if you want to. If not, don't worry about it.
What? Orphan.
And at Jackie and at Drift at third. I'm lost.
Hi, Karen.
Miss Karen, welcome. Good to see you. She's from Slough, UK. That's awesome. No, I'm doing it tomorrow, Heather. And then I'll just pick up the other one for next week.
North Carolina.
Welcome, big boy from Carolina. Miss Pamela's in Lancashire, UK. Sylvia Plath, MA. Miss Brandy's in Arkansas. Wait, MA, is that Maine or Massachusetts? I can't remember. Or no, wait a minute. I'm about to look. Hold on a second.
I was going to say between Michigan, Missouri.
I know what Michigan is, and I think I know what Missouri is, but Maine or Massachusetts, I was thinking. Hold on.
She said Massachusetts.
Okay, I was right. Thank you. Always wanted to go up that way. I am a huge fan of Stephen King, the author. And everything in his books has something to do with the New England area, with Maine, Massachusetts, and stuff like that. And I've always wanted to go up that way. Life and Love is in Utah, Salt Lake City. Thank you so much.
K Dips is in London, England.
Awesome. London, Leicester, UK. That is Transporter. Miss Grandma Bunny says Utah currently as husband ski instructor at Snowbassin, but from Milwaukee, Chicago. Gotcha. Milwaukee. Laverne and Shirley.
Kim's in Amherst, New York, Buffalo, Niagara Falls area.
Yep.
That's right.
Cardiff, Wales. We have somebody. Drift is from Wales, folks. That's really cool.
Woo-hoo.
Looking to move up to Maine. That's the one place I do want to go. Wherever he portrays Castle Rock, Maine is. I know I don't believe it actually exists, but I want to go up that way anyway. The Fawns. Hey, that's right, Grandma. Forget about it. Spoogazy. Love a Stephen King book. Read a lot of them. They're absolutely my favorite. I own them all, Jackie. Every one of them. Except for the very brand new ones. There's a couple I'm missing because I didn't know they existed. So
I can't read Stephen King.
Oh my God, I love it. It is the best.
I guess he's just too detailed. And with my narcolepsy, I'm like, okay, I don't care that the bench is brown, the grass is green, the sky is blue, because you're about to put me to sleep, dude.
Yeah. He wrote a lot of stuff that people don't even realize that he wrote. You know, The Green Mile was him. Shawshank Redemption was him. Lawnmower Man. He wrote a lot of stuff under Richard Bachman was his first, what he first came out as. That was his first writing name. And then he eventually turned the corner and became who he was, Mr. Stephen King. Mercy Hospital, that was him. That was a series that was out that he wrote a story about. The Bachman books, a lot of that stuff is where like Children of the Corn came from. Sometimes they come back and all those stories. Maximum Overdrive, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I like his stuff. I just have to watch the movies. I can't read the books.
The movies are great. Don't get me wrong. But like the books are so much more, when you said detailed, you're right. They're just so much more like I can get into the book. See, here's a problem though. I can't read anymore. Because when I start reading a book, I'm immediately sleeping. So
I know that feeling.
I've never heard of that, Jackie. In fact, I have a new Stephen King book. I'll show you guys. They're coffee table books for me. That's how many I have, guys. Hold on. Let me show you something. Thank you so much, Sunshine. These two books are sitting on my coffee table. This one is a newer one that I didn't even know existed. It's a paper. It's one of the new style paperbacks that looks like a hardback. The
Mm-hmm.
Outsider. I've never read this yet, folks. And then, of course, this one is absolutely amazing. Love it, love it, love it.
I used to
Yeah, I
read
know.
a lot of Dean Koontz.
Dean Koontz is very good too. Very good. Um, Clive Barker, Dean Koontz, Stephen King is still the best in the world to me, though. The earlier stuff, yes, yes, is the best. The Boogeyman, sometimes they come back. Cujo, Children of the Corn.
I
Um,
like his books, but he's a twit.
what?
Drift said, I like his books, but he's a twit.
Stephen King. He's different. He's definitely different.
Yeah, he's eccentric.
He's very eccentric. Thank you. That's the best word to use. He's very, very eccentric and very weird. Whatever. Well, as long as he keeps writing what he writes, I don't care. I don't care.
Right.
I don't know how to read. Nikki. What? Oh yeah, I gotta email you playlist of Zeke's reading. Oh yeah. No problem, PPR. Me and Zeke over at PPR's channel have become best friends immediately because his favorite altogether deal as far as favorite horror movies and stuff are and favorite actors in horror movies are Bruce Campbell, my favorite actor of all time for horror movies because of the Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, those movies. Those are my favorites of all time ever. Hello, darling.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Mm.
Yes, I'm lucky enough that she's off today.
Yay.
He ain't right. He ain't right since he got hit by a truck. Jack, listen, whoever said Drift, he wasn't right before he got hit by the truck. That just made him worse. That's all. Brandy says Nikki start with C spot run. Oh my God, you guys are a mess. I know that she's lying. Otherwise, I wouldn't allow anybody to make fun of it. But she's lying, so don't worry about it. Just make fun of it all you want. I read it once. Okay, Red. I read it the book one time.
Did you see Gary's questions?
Gary, we got a Gary? Gary Robinson. Hello, Gary. Welcome, my friend. Bruce Campbell's awesome. CC, what is Gary saying? 1 second. Where we go? Back here. Why has Paul got here we go. Why has Paul got the dog lead? Good question. Surely the police would need it for forensics. It's surely a piece of evidence. Why did he take the dog lead? Was there a dog lead at the crime scene? No. The lead was missing, correct?
I believe so.
And just so you know, Mr. Robinson, there was no crime scene because
they didn't cordon anything off.
Cordon anything off and said that there was no crime for them to do that. But we know that something happened. And why does he have the dog lead? Did he take it to dispose of it well, why does he have it? That's all I want to know. They should have had everything that woman had touched that day should be in their hands.
Absolutely.
Misery's amazing, as is Dolores Claiborne, Needful Things, the Tommy Knockers I really didn't care for too much, but it's still good. Under the Dome was good. Thank you, Sunshine, for the super chat. So very much. Yes, Misery was a great movie. Read the book. It's 10 times better. There's things that are in the book that aren't even in the movie, guys, that they excluded for whatever reason. Why are you giving me advertisements for shoes? I don't want your shoes. And there we go, Sunshine. Thank you so very much. And I think you said, let me check real quick here, just to be sure it went through. And I do definitely appreciate the donation, guys. Every bit.
To get that RAM.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to add up all the little pieces. Thank you so much for that, Sunshine. I very much appreciate that. Very much. There you go, Red. Absolutely. Stephen King, that would be awesome. Under the Dome started out. I didn't even get to finish it. It went somewhere that I wasn't comfortable with. So, Irish Liz, welcome. Good to see you. Haven't been on in a while. Hope you're all well. And I hope you're well as well. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here. Have you seen the English YouTuber that has said around that area too? Yes, we're going to talk about that here. That's part of our open discussion. That there are two other cases that they're linking Nicola's case to now.
Oh, wow.
How about that? Since it was just an accident and she fell in the river.
Right? Lost her footing and just.
Mm-hmm. And then 23 days later, she just had them pop up, and there she was. Right.
Right.
Uh-huh. My buddy has a landscaping company. He's friends with him. Awesome, Red. That would be great. Yeah, I absolutely. I idolize him. He's amazing. I know he's crazy, weird, but I get it. You got to be sometimes to be that good. You know what I mean? I haven't either, Jody. I haven't been able to. Like I said, I can open it, and I'll get no lie. If I get all comfortable and sit down, and I'll pull open, I get about first chapter, and that's what happens when I read. That's it.
Yep.
Christine was amazing. You're right.
Yep. It's got to grab my attention and hold it through the whole thing, or I'm just done.
I get it. This episode. Well, that's why I was so into the BC Andrews stuff, because it was so like, whoa, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things that are what do you call it? Taboo, that you don't talk about, that aren't, you know what I mean? And it was just like, they're really putting this out here. Nightmare on Elm Street. You know, we're going to be doing that, Karen, because that is based on loosely based on true stories. Back in the 80s, I think, I'm not 100%, but there were a bunch of Asian men that were dying in their sleep. In turn, Wes Craven found actually, it came before Wes Craven. There was a screenplay that was written based on that happening, and then Wes Craven got a hold of that and twisted it into his crazy mind mess. Because he's another one, just like Stephen King, whose mind was warped, okay, which is where these movies and things came from that he did. Stand By Me is another Stephen King. That was absolutely amazing. That book, guys, I read that book when I was 14 years old. I read the whole book in one day. I couldn't stop. I started it in the morning. I was grounded, so I had the time. Laid on my bed with the fan going, and I did not move till 2:00 the next morning. I had not put the book down one time, other than to go to the bathroom, which I almost didn't even do that. So, Stand By Me was absolutely amazing. I loved it. The film adaptation was very good. Drift, you're right. It was very close. They left out a few things that made the story more interesting, in my opinion, but it is what it is. You know how that works. Anyone hear about Brian with photos of one of the victims on his phone? That I didn't hear, Liz, but we're going to be.
I posted that in Discord this morning, but you weren't around to see it. So
yeah, I was busy this morning. I'll have to go back and check everything out. It seems like ever since I started doing my series that I'm noticing there's other creators that are popping up doing the same movies that we're doing. The Conjuring Origins. We just did that. And I saw one for The Exorcist the other day, and I saw one for something else that we just did. Scream, I think it was. Thank you, Miss CC, very much. Anybody that would like to donate to support me or the channel, I got to get my RAM. I'm Very grateful. There are the links again, folks. Thank you so very much. Bentley Little is great too. Just emailed you. Thank you, Kim. Very much appreciated. 1 second. Where are we at here? Yep, there's a dog. That's an old man. Looks like an old lady. Beautiful dog. I have that same rug, Kim. That's weird. Are you out walking the dog? Very cute dog.
Aww.
That's a cute. All right. Room 14. Y'all, 1408 was great. Yes. Very, very good. John Cusack. I love that one.
What was the movie? I don't know if it was Johnny Depp, where he kind of lost his mind.
Secret Window.
Yeah, that was
Great.
interesting.
That wasn't Stephen King, but I don't
know.
I don't think it was, but that was a great movie.
Yeah.
The Dark Half. That was another great story. That was really good. I love that one. Yes, we are going to talk about Deborah Collier today too a little bit. Did you ever see your pick on Community tab yet? Case of what? Chaos of Fame. What are you saying there, Dustin?
Did you ever see your pick on Community tab yet? Ugh. Something. I think that's supposed to be again. Chaos again? I don't know.
I think that he misspelled something. Say it again, Dustin. I'm lost, bro.
Caps and typos. Ugh.
How do you come here often? What's your sign? What's up, Boone? She's in her
Hi,
mood.
Boone.
She's in one of her crazy moods today. I love it. Welcome back, Boone. Good to see you, dear.
Yes, Irish. I love Johnny Depp too.
As a Secret Garden. Yes, thank you, Drift. That's correct. Secret Garden was a Stephen King story, and that's where the Secret Window came from. That is very true. Thank you. I remember being home from school sick once, and I got into my great Graham's, but that's what I did, Sylvia. I said the same thing. It was actually when I had run out of all my books, and I had chicken pox. Okay, and I was stuck at home for 4 or 5 days. And my mother had every book by B.C. Andrews. And the first one I picked up, because it had the cover opens and closes, and there was a little hole you could see the picture. That was kind of cool to me. I was about 14 years old, or 13. I was 13 or 14 years old. I should have been reading these books, but whatever. And I went in and I grabbed Flowers in the Attic, the first one I ever read. And after that, I was just like, this is some crazy shit, But I love B.C. Andrews. They were really good. Let There Be Thorns, Flowers in the Attic. I can't remember the rest of them. It's been a minute. But and yes, folks. As a bit of an update, actually, let's do the Nicole or the Nicola thing first. Give me a second. I want you guys to see this real fast. And then, Jody, was you watching the rerun of the show? Okay, I sent you your picture. Which you sent it email, Dustin, or did you send it another way?
He said he was going to send it email.
Okay.
He said, I'll email you. I want to see your reaction.
Gotcha. Email. Jody Dago has problems with it. Oh, I'm sorry, Jody. Did I miss something you asked? Hold on.
And she said, I have a dumb question. I know there's no such thing, but I was on yesterday's watching from the hospital, and when I got home, I couldn't get back in the chat. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I thought I'd heard you at one point say it had disconnected or something.
It did. I had some big time internet issues over the past week, Jody. They were here yesterday fixing everything, and it kept going in and out and connecting and disconnecting. So that's what happened. You're not doing anything wrong. Everything should be good now. So my apologies. My fault. I appreciate you asking, though. Who did this?
Uh-oh.
This had to be Molly. I'm done. We're done. It's over. Thanks, PPR. Appreciate you, bro. Who put that up? Where was that at?
She said, that was not me.
Did you do that, Heather? No. I don't even know who put it up. How? And where was it? On my community page?
No, I think PPR's.
Oh,
he's claiming it was all him.
You did it. You did it. I got you. I got you. Don't forget, bro. Paybacks are a bitch sometimes. That's actually funny. I gotta be honest with you.
That's funny because there was something going around in my head.
Welcome back to the
Yeah, I forgot all about the Where's Waldo thing, so it is what it is. Heather said, nope, wasn't her. It was all him. He took all full credit. It's okay. I got you, bro. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. So this is, as I was talking, since we're doing open discussion, the whole Nicola Bully thing. Man, just wait till I get involved. It has been linked to 2 other suspicious disappearances. Imagine that. It's cute. It's funny. I get it. I laughed.
I'm over it. Let's move on.
Let's move on. PPR. My latest obsession is the show, Mr. Robot. I came to it lately. Finished. Okay. Well, here is the video on this. I saw this morning, and it kind of caught my attention because, according to their police department, this was a random accident and a horrible one. So, that being said, this is kind of interesting to me. So, let's see what they got to say. Again, let me know about the audio, folks.
Channel. We are in St. Michael's. However, this is a little bit different of a video. I've been speaking to somebody who's been looking at a few things, and it turns out there are actually 2 other unexplained deaths or disappearances of people in the same area. I'm sure everybody's aware of who I'm talking about. One person's called Peter Baglin, and one person is called Daniel Hives. Daniel Hives went missing from, I will show you on the map, but it looks on the map about to be 5 to 7 miles away. And Peter Baglin went missing from Greater Manchester, and that is approximately 20 miles away in the opposite direction, with St. Michael's being in between the 2. Now, the reason I'm looking into this is because they all have similarities. Now, I'm going to do a proper video on this, probably, where we go to the locations and we look around and we get the full details. But for now, I just thought I would put a video up showing the basic details and explaining the basic details and seeing what people think. I've seen quite a little bit of speculation on it, to be fair, already. So I've no doubt the same thing will happen on this video. So I just thought I'd put the walk on St. Michael's up just to give people a fresh jog the memory on Nicola Bully's case. Not that they need it, probably. It's just quite a beautiful background to have whilst talking, to be fair. before I visit the location. So obviously Nicola went missing in very, very suspicious looking, unusual circumstances, and the investigation has begun into what actually killed her. And they're looking at June for that report, maybe sooner, but it's going to be a while. And personally, I think more happened, and we've already, spoke about this already on another video. I think something untoward happened, and she was not in the river for that whole time. Anyway, let's go with the theory that something did happen and it wasn't an accident. Okay, let's just for now presume that is a possibility, which it is, and let's presume that we're going to go with that at the moment. The other two people have disappeared. Now, they've both disappeared in water or next to water. Again, I will show you the map of the location and how close it is to the water shortly. But yes, they've both gone missing in water. They've both left their belongings near the water, and I think both of them have gone for a walk. Those two actually went for a walk at 9:30 p.m. Both went around the same time. Both went on the 28th of the month. One was the 28th of December, I believe, and one was the 28th of January. A little bit weird, but nothing that a coincidence wouldn't, sort of go with. But yeah, very, very, a lot of similarities. I'm sure there are more similarities I'm not aware of. I've only done a little bit of digging tonight. And the area, again.
Pamela says Peter Bagley fell into the Bridgewater Canal, not even remotely connected. The other male also fell in after a night out. Yes, Pamela, it's a urban myth, and they're pushed in, but most are drunk and fall off on their own accord. That's facts. I'm banging my head here against the wall, right? I don't understand why. It's almost like people take these cases, okay, and then they look for whatever they can find to attribute these cases to something similar, and they run with it, folks. So here it is. I'm showing it to you guys so you guys can, and that's why I like having Pam on our team, because she can tell us the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to have people that are over there in the midst of these things and say, hey, this is what's really going on. This is what this is. This is what that is. And that's why you are so important to us, Pamela. No lie. Who is this jester? Peter, God love him, had mental health problems and money problems. Right. 30 miles is a long distance in the UK. It probably is. I don't leave the house unless I'm wearing floaties on my legs and arms, a safety vest, a location tracker, and a bit fit in a house. Okay, Boone, I gotcha. But anyway, this is really all this is, guys. And I don't see the likeness to it either. But again, this is what happens. This is what happens, guys.
Yeah, and want to show you on the map. It's very close. So if somebody was involved with Nicola's death, then it's quite possible the same person is involved with the disappearance of these two other people. Now they have.
I'm telling you, this is what I don't like about this. There isn't one, Sylvia. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm showing you guys this. It doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. I feel, as do a few other people that are in here, that there's a specific reason why what happened to Nicola happened to her, okay? I'm not going to go into that because that goes above and beyond speculation at this point. I'm going to wait and see what comes back from the postmortem or the autopsy, and then we're going to go into that scenario and go with it there. And Pamela's saying nothing suspicious at all about the two other men. There it is, folks, in a nutshell. On a self-unalive, and the male UK population is rising at an alarming rate. It's over here too. It's sad. K Dips is saying, Ms. Boone, a lady called Steph Young has looked into loads of these similar deaths of people in canals in Manchester, especially. Check her out. Unexplained Mysteries with author Steph Young. You'll love it. Okay, there we go. And Pamela says K Dips, yes, and lots of students, same as in York, sadly, very much so. KD sounds like missing 411. A lot of that has been attributed to these things happening like that, which, you know, that's a whole other thing. And we will do a show on that, guys. We really will. Only because there's a lot of the whole missing 411 that relates to true crime in a lot of senses. You have to see who they are and what they are to see what I'm saying. But it's an interesting scenario. It really is. We're going to touch base on it. I promise you that. That's a fact. So, again, I'm probably not going to play this whole video, to be honest with you. I just wanted you guys to see what was and hear what was being said and what's going on, because it doesn't. I don't think it relates. That's my opinion. You know, you guys can make your own judgment on it, but I wanted to show it to you.
I haven't found either of them, which is a little bit concerning, to be honest. People do normally turn up fairly quickly if they've just gone off somewhere or run away, etc. So I'm thinking about looking into how these three could possibly be linked. The police don't think they're linked at all.
I don't either.
But then it's Lancashire police dealing with the one of them, the same Lancashire diving team, the same Lancashire drone team, and the same Lancashire search team as with Nicola's case. So if they've done a poor job on that, and I'm not saying they have, I mean, we've all got our opinions, but I'm saying if they have, then we can't hold much hope for them doing the same kind of search for somebody else, right? So I'm thinking about looking into the three,
I wish we'd discuss Ellen Ray Greenberg, but I guess that's not going to happen. Why do you guess that's not going to happen, Nikki? Because that's the first time I've heard about that. So
I was going to say, and who is that?
Right, that's the first time I've heard about it. So, like, we don't know. I've told you guys before. You bring me anything, I'm willing to look at it. And if it's something that is going to be valid, you know, for us to go into to try to help to find something on it, then absolutely we'll do it. That's what I do. That's what I'm here for. And that's what Mama Bear's been saying it too in the comments, guys. If you got stuff you want us to check into or look into, leave it in the comments. We're more than willing and happy to look at it and get something rolling with it if we have to.
Absolutely.
I don't just, I know it looks like it because of course, we cover the high profile stuff too, but that's not all I'm about. You know, I'm about helping in any way I can. So if you want to look at something, Nikki, absolutely. Give me some info and let's get looking. You know what I mean? 100%. Mama Bear's got one that we're going to look at. Heather's pulled a couple up. I mentioned it before. I'll drop links.
Either that, Nikki, or whatever information you already have on it, email it to one of us or both of us.
Yeah, absolutely. I will be glad to look at it, Nikki. If you mentioned it, it might have been something that when you mentioned it, it might have been at a bad time or something like that. But we'll look into it. The Greenberg name sounds familiar. I'm trying to think of where, but like with everything we do, you know how that gets. You got to just keep reminding me. And like, if you email me something or Mama Bear something, eventually we're going to get to the point where we'll be able to get to it. But we have so much going on all the time. We absolutely will look at it though, Nikki. That's a fact. That case is how I got JJ into true crime. I had him help me test a theory that proved she was 86th. Okay. I'll definitely look at it. The Officer Ellis case in Bardstown, Kentucky is a huge rabbit hole still to this day. Yes, it is. Absolutely, PPR. That one was kind of insane, to be honest with you, as that is my favorite word. That's crazy. There's a lot of them, guys. There's so many of them that we could do this till we were 85 years old and we would never cover a quarter of it. Okay. I'd love to create a worldwide case description site of missing people in case. There is a Boone. There is a oh my God, Mama Bear. Do you know what that's called? There's a website that you go to and that's all it is. It's nothing but that stuff. I was linked to it at one point in time. And I think that with my computer doing the things it did, I lost it somewhere, but I'd love to get back to it. I really would, because it's somebody sent it to me too. It's a website of nothing but the people missing.
Wasn't it
All
Namus
over.
or something like that, or is it something different?
What did you say?
Namus? Was it that one or a different?
It might be that. Yeah, it might be the Namus app or Missing Persons Clearinghouse.
Oh, never heard of that.
Maybe that's it. I'll find it for you, Boone, and I'll give you the name if I can find it again. And it's, yes, worldwide. There were people from the UK, from Ireland, New Zealand, everywhere you can think of were on this. The concentration was on the United States, of course, because we're in the United States, but like it's everywhere. Lisa Bevins is actually, I think she might have sent it to me from Australia, and it had everything. I wish to God she would message me, by the way. I'm getting like really, really worried about her. I don't know what's going on. I think maybe it was Namus. So at this point, I don't think we need to watch any more of this, because he's really just rambling about something that I think is not in it. He gave the information on the people, and that's really all that's important at this point. I don't agree with him, guys. I'll be honest with you. I just don't. I think that it's just a way to get content at this point, and so be it. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying. David Politas tried getting a list from one of the national parks. They asked him for $1 million. Yeah. Yep. I remember that. I definitely remember that one. Okay, that's right. Anyway, you got ads? Awesome. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you. So I will go ahead and back this out. And then we have, let me see this here for a minute. I think I downloaded this last night, or uploaded this last night. Just want to see if it's the one thing I was going to show you.
Guys, something's just not.
Nicola Bully, what really happened to her? Was a third party involved, and how did she end up in the river? That was put up. Ellen was rolled as self-inflicted. Her parents have. Okay. So then that's just like the Doherty case. By the way, Mama Bear, are you still here?
Yeah.
Did we get anything else on the Doherty case by chance?
On the what?
Remember, or I think it's pronounced Doherty. It might be Daughtry. The little boy you had mentioned to me that you had.
Oh, that's right. I need to check Facebook. I've been so busy with other stuff, I totally spaced it.
Right. That's what I thought. We may have something coming on that one, guys. Oh my God, what is his first name? I'm sorry.
Sean.
I thought it was Doherty. I've always pronounced Doherty. It might be Daughtry.
Daughtry.
Is it Okay, it's Daughtry. Sean Daughtry, folks. The one that is the case that reminds me of what you're saying, Nikki, the Ellen Green. Okay. That one, I don't want to ever let go of that one, because they're saying that he unalived himself, and none of us agree that that's what happened, period. And Mama Bear kind of got a bit of a link on that one, and a little bit of a hotspot rolling. So we've been kind of looking at it. And I want to keep it as warm as we possibly can, because it doesn't need to get cold. That Sean Daughtry case is, well, strange. I don't believe. Absolutely not, K-Diffs. Absolutely not. That definitely has a cover up on it. I am too, Linda. I'm glad to be here, and my apologies for not being here. I'm so sorry about what went on with my internet, but thank you for having the patience to be here. Ellen died of 20 sharp force wounds to the back of her skull, spine, neck, and heart. The coroner proved she wouldn't have survived the first 5, And 3 tests have proven that she was physically unable. But they said that she unalived herself. You can't do that. If that's what happened to her, that doesn't work that way. Same thing with the daughtry. That just doesn't happen, folks. That's what today is all about. Is we're going to talk about all these cases here, there, going round and round. So, sick of my basement smelling like weed. Thanks to my neighbor. Sorry, Kim. I'm sorry about that. I take it you live in a duplex. There's a guy they found behind a Bakersfield bar. They call, yeah, I saw that one, Boone. I just saw that one actually. They called it self-unaliving. He shot himself in the back of the head 2 times. Sure he did. I want to see how that worked out. And he shot himself twice. So the first shot went off and he shot another one, right? Okay. That's insane. See, those are the ones that drive me in. Oh, you own the duplex and they live. Well, throw them out then. Tell them you can't be doing that kind of stuff. Sean DKs has to stay warm. Thank you for keeping. Oh, absolutely, Sylvia. That one drives me insane. Mama Bear too. She's very passionate about that one, just as I am, because we both know there's no way. I can't accept that, and I'm never going to. That's a purchased unaliving, paid defense. Oh, I got what you're saying. Well, if you own a duplex, I would be tossing them if they can't stop doing that, Kim. You shouldn't have to deal with that, especially if it makes you uncomfortable. Some people don't mind that kind of stuff. Like me and my wife.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Hello?
Hi, this is a call from Optima. We noticed you recently contacted our customer service department, and we're just following up. If the issue you called us about has already been resolved, press 1. If you'd like to speak with an advanced customer service agent now, press 2. If you still need help but don't have time to talk now, press 3. We're glad the issue has been resolved. Thanks for choosing Optima. Goodbye.
I just had a mini heart attack. I don't care how many times I turned that down. It turns itself right back up. We want a lawyer. We want to, but a lawyer costs a lot. Well, I don't know the laws up at where you're at, Kim, but I'm pretty sure that I don't know if it's legal, if they have a medical card or things like that. You can definitely get rid of them if you need to. Yeah, we'll check into it, Nikki, for sure. Because it sounds a lot like the Sean's case too, and I'm not ever gonna let that one go ever.
No. I just pulled his up, and there's nothing new yet. So
okay, there's a few cases that'll never go away for me. Summer Wells is not gonna ever go away. Kylie Rodney, I'm never gonna get that out of my head, so that's gonna be something I'll be looking at repeatedly. Deborah Collier case, which we're about to talk about, that's never going to go away. And Sean's case will never go away. Because the way that they were all closed, I'm not comfortable with it. Now, as I said, in the Deborah Collier case, I don't know, you guys know that Miss Jules is a friend of ours over here for Jules of All Trades. She put up, in fact, let me go to that real quick and show you guys, since I can't get a hold of the info myself at this moment, but we will. Even if I want it bad, so if I have to FOIA it, then I'm going to do what I got to do, or FOIA it. I'm sorry, I don't know what I just said. I want to see this autopsy report myself. With my knowledge and medical background and what I know about things with my being a firefighter and so on and so forth, this makes no sense, folks. And I want you to see this real quick. This is insane, and it made me really mad because, in a sense, we were lied to. Point blank. The way I look at it, we were lied to. and it's just not cool. And what I want to understand is why a child of the person that, if it was my mother, I would not just accept this. But her daughter seems so very accepting. In fact, she's shoving it down our throats too. I have a problem with that, a big problem. So, all right. And Jules, thank you so much for putting this out. And I am going to follow this with my own thing here, but I want you guys to see this first. This is quite interesting, guys, for those of you that may not have seen it. It's very loud, Jody. I'm sorry for anybody that it may have scared. It is very loud. I try to turn it down, and it's even away from me, and it's still like brown. It scares the hell out of me every time it rings. I mean, it's not. I thought Mama Bear's konnichiwa thing was like, whoa, but no, my ringtone is insanely irritating, so I'm sorry. The Brandon Miller basketball player for Alabama case. Yep. Keelani, I remember that one. Welcome, by the way, my dear. Getting a lot of attention because it mixes criminal events with sports. Exactly. That is exactly what it's about, too. You've never heard about Sean's case. Oh, Jody. You'll find out because we're hot on that one. For sure.
Amanda made it seem as if she was moving back to help her mother.
Sorry, guys. I got to start from the beginning. By the way, guys, if you have not, guys, please check out Jules of All Trades. She's got a really, really, it's called Jules of All Trades True Crime. She has a really, really good channel. She's a lot like us. We share a lot of the same cases that we work on. We have worked together and plan to do more of that in the future. And I support her 100%. So please go over, check her out. Subscribe, show some love, and again, guys, she's got degrees in criminology and stuff like that. She knows what she's doing too. So check her out, folks. Thank you, Heather, for that so very much. There's the link, folks. Let's see what she has to say. This is the Deborah Collier case. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. Just to give you a quick up on it, she was how old was she again, Mama Bear? 54?
Yeah, I was going to say mid-50s.
Mid-50s. Okay, she's a mid-50s lady that lived in Georgia. She just one day sent her daughter a huge payment on Venmo and said, they're not going to let me go. Disappeared. The next day, they found her body in a wooded area in a way. Thank you, Boone. It was quite a distance away from her home. And she was partially burnt in her abdomen area and deceased, holding onto a tree at the bottom of a ravine. That's how we found out about the case, and we all started working the case, and that's how it was left at. That they were working a case as a homicide, okay? Based on what we saw and heard, it was that she was maybe kidnapped and then unalived for whatever reasons. Her daughter's got a pretty salty background and thought that maybe that led into the case in some senses, so on and so forth. Well, after a couple of months of the case going down as it did, then one day they just come out outright and say, well, this was a suicide, and that's the end of it. No, none of us believed that because of all the other pieces and parts to the puzzle, folks, as Jules agreed with us on that. And she got the info on this, and that's what we're going to watch right now is on the autopsy. They lied to us and told us that it was a very small amount of burnt area in her abdomen area. 80% of her body, folks. Being a paramedic and a firefighter, that's almost your entire body.
Yep. Just
so you guys know. And this woman was very, very tiny little thing. She was a very, very short little woman. A very sweet lady. Very sweet lady. And this is a damn shame because she's not getting true justice. And that's what we stand for over here. She can't tell us the truth as to what happened because she's no longer with us. So again, as I say, we're the voice for the voiceless and we want true justice. And that's what we're looking at right now. So we will not let go of these cases. On a lot of these cases, we'll keep coming back to them if I have to do it until I'm booted off of YouTube for whatever reasons. I will continue to come back to these cases because I feel that strongly about getting them true justice, folks. So let's check out what Jules said, and then we can go from there.
Sylvia, yes.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said, Sylvia, yes. She was asking if this was the Collier case, and I said yes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Sylvia. And sorry, Mama Bear. I didn't mean to.
Okay.
All right, here we go, folks.
Hey guys, this is Jules with True Crime Reactions. Do you guys remember the Debbie Collier case? A lot of us had a lot of questions about Debbie's case, especially since the police originally came out and told us that this was very targeted and personal. And then in the end, it turned out that they called it a self-deletion.
And that's the big thing. They initially came out and for the first week said this was absolutely targeted to her personally and very personal. And then you're gonna take that and go for a month or two on that and then say it was self-unaliving. Does that make any sense to anybody? Because it don't to me at all. I'm sorry to say. Sorry.
Well, apparently the autopsy has come out, and the New York Post was able to get a copy of it. According to them, they sent in the information, public information forms, and was able to get the autopsy back. I'm aggravated, guys, because we were lied to. We were lied to about the extent of the burns on Debbie Collier's body. And I'm talking to you like you know the case, because my people will know this case. If you do not know Debbie Collier's case and you want to try to catch up after what you hear, I do have an entire playlist. But back to my people. I'm mad. And I know that there's something else going on in this case, or at least I feel like there has to be something else going on in this case. But I could be wrong, because I do have like two theories here. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read you parts of this article so that you guys can understand why I'm stating we were lied to about the extent of Miss Collier's injuries. The headline of this article reads, Debbie Collier autopsy reveals burns to 80% of her body. No explanation of suicide. This was released on the 20th, on yesterday, February 20th at 1:19 p.m. Georgia office worker Debbie Collier's body was 80% burned when she was found in a ravine 60 miles from her home. The report raised more questions about Collier's shocking death that was ultimately ruled a suicide despite a months-long homicide investigation. Debbie Collier was reported missing on September 10th after she sent her daughter Amanda a Venmo payment for $2,385 with a chilling message saying, "They are not going to let me go. Love you." That Venmo has never been explained. No one has ever given us any information on that Venmo payment, whether it was completely left field and Debbie just sent it for like no reason at all, or if she was forced, or if Amanda was expecting this money for some reason and this was all like planned and this specific amount actually had a plan to it. None of that was ever revealed to us. We have no idea about this Venmo payment. She was found dead in a ravine the next day in a wooded area of rural Habersham County, more than an hour north of Athens, which is where she lived in Athens, Georgia, with her husband, Steve. Officials quickly opened a murder investigation that bore no results for months before they ruled her death a suicide in November. Police initially said Collier had charring to her stomach. Remember, that's what we were told. Charring to the abdomen area is what we were told. But the autopsy reveals her burns were far more extensive, describing second and third degree burns involving 80% of the total body surface area. What? Her entire body. The report says Collier died from inhalation of superheated gases, thermal injuries, and a hydrocodone intoxication. Often took the painkiller. Significant elevation of blood carboxyhemoglobin. Let's look and see what that means. So according to Google, carboxyhemoglobin is a stable complex of carbon monoxide that forms in the red blood cells when carbon monoxide is inhaled. This just shows me that she wasn't alive when the fire was on her. That's how that seems to me. Like, I can see there being thermal injuries to like maybe the windpipe area a little bit, but if there's no deposited soot in her actual airway and there's no sign that she was breathing in anything like this, then that kind of tells me that this fire was after. I don't like this report at all. Then it states these findings may be due to a sudden intense flash fire as well as the outdoor environment of the fire. Officials noted that a melted gas can was found near the burn site, perhaps the source of the flash fire, but did not explain other circumstances, including that Collier was naked when discovered and why she was slightly downhill from the fire, gripping the base of a small tree with her.
Now, they told us, if you guys remember, and said that she was topless, not naked. And now she's saying, and she made reference to that again, she was topless, not naked. That changes things completely, okay? It also means it was a flash. Well, there was a flash at some point, I'm agreeing, but for 80% of her body to be burnt, that was more than just a flash. That was an entire, she was engulfed in flames, folks. And to be able to burn that way, you have to be in touch with the fire for more than just a abdomen flash fire. It would just flash over, and you could get torched like the first layer of your skin, but 3rd and 4th degree burns, no. I'm just telling you, no. I know this from experience. No. And here's the other thing. I've never agreed with this. I've seen, and I hate to talk about it like this, but I've seen multiple self-unaliving situations in my career, okay? I've seen multiple people that have self-unalived themselves. Nobody have I ever seen has ever lit themselves on fire. Ever. And you have to understand something, that the pain from that is so excruciating that I don't think anybody could continuously do that. Dumping gas over top of your head, as we've seen in the movies, and lighting a match does not happen in real life because people know the pain that it will cause, okay? It's not something that I can see this woman doing to herself, in my opinion. You're absolutely right, Boone. And what did you say, Red? I know it from experience as a burn victim. Absolutely. It's not a joke. It's probably the worst absolute pain you could ever imagine in your life, guys. I mean, I'm telling you, because here's what happens. When your flesh is burnt, I'm not trying to be gross, I'm just telling you, your nerve endings are all exposed. Okay. And then you see, and like if the wind blows, you feel that, and it's like somebody is relighting you on fire. It's insane. It's insane. I just, anybody that would has ever been through a burn, I feel so bad, and I feel from the heart so bad for you, because it is the worst pain ever imaginable, guys. I'm telling you.
Yep.
And somebody that wants to end their life is not, okay, let me put it this way, and I've talked about this like this before. Somebody that wants to end their life is in pain of some sort, mental, emotional, or whatever, so they want to be away from it, right? They're trying to get away from that pain, which is why they want to end their life.
Exactly.
Nobody is going to cause themselves that much pain to get away from the pain they're already in, guys. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, none at all.
You got to think about it, okay? Exactly, Linda. I hope they could, Sunshine. If anybody could find like the truth and put it out there, then they would have no choice but to reopen the case. Period. You don't forget it either, Pamela. You don't. I've seen multiple. You just don't. It's here for the rest of my life. It's part of what my PTSD is from. And the smell is something else altogether different, and it's horrible. I agree, Pamela. I agree. And Sylvia, I definitely agree with you as well. I'd like to see them reopen the case, but again, there has to be some kind of evidence to prove that there's a reason to reopen it. That's the problem. In that sense. So that's, I don't know. Let me let Jules finish this off, because like I said, guys, this is true. I feel like I was lied to, and I at this point do feel like there's something that's being either covered up or hidden for whatever reason.
Right hand. Yeah, that image, I still can't get that out of my head. Obviously, we hadn't seen it. But like I mentioned, when I talk about these cases and I try to put puzzle pieces together, my inner monologue puts it together like a screenplay. And then I can see it in my brain, in my mind's eye, like a movie. I dreamt this. I saw it constantly, a charred body at the bottom of a hill grasping to the bottom of a tree. It's not. This entire thing has set wrong with me, and this autopsy information just proves to us that we were lied to, that something is being covered up here. Something doesn't feel right. Medical examiner said Collier was discovered with third-degree burns to her face, charred portions of her scalp, and charred, leathery skin throughout her body. The autopsy report also doesn't explain how the death was ruled a suicide beyond a quick line that states, investigation by law enforcement revealed circumstances consistent with a self-intentioned act and that she was alone at the time of the incident. I don't see anything that says that, but sure, you do you. Georgia police described Collier's death in late September as personal and targeted, but never publicly named any suspects. The suicide ruling shocked those following the case and even some family members. Police also never explained Collier's Venmo message to her daughter, thank you, which caught the attention of the nation when revealed, and why she stopped at a Family Dollar store and bought a poncho, a refillable torch lighter, paper towels, a tarp, and a tote bag on the day that she disappeared. A neighbor told the Post in September that she heard a commotion coming from Collier's home the night before she vanished, and the family frequently engaged in screaming and fighting.
Drifted. Third-degree burns are very bad. Very bad. Very bad.
And it only goes to 4.
Yeah. And when you get to the 5th level, there's nothing left. Okay, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Red's saying, it's down to the fatty tissue. That's bad. That's exactly what I was just saying, K-Dips. Getting burnt is probably the worst thing that could ever happen to a person. Hence why someone will jump out of a burning building, even if it would end their life, because getting burnt alive it's absolutely the worst pain you can ever imagine. And I hope none of you ever have to imagine or feel it, because it's insane. It's I can't even describe it. Listen, this is why burn victims, I've treated them in the back of the ambulance, okay, with saline solution, because you have to do that to keep it clean and to cool it. Because what happens, guys, if you catch on fire, I've been burnt before being a firefighter, okay? When you catch on fire, when your skin's burning, once it's burnt and it's a fire to it, it continues to burn. Just like if you get a sunburn, okay? That's why people tell you if you get sunburnt, go take a shower real quick, because it stops the burn. It's the same thing with being burnt, guys. It's the same thing. You have to treat it with like a saline solution, stuff like that. These people scream, and I mean scream. Never, it makes my skin crawl thinking about it or even talking about it. People scream because of the pain. That's how bad it is. They pass out because they can't. I mean, that's how bad it is. 80% of her body, guys. That's why I can't believe she did it to herself. There's no way. And as they just said, or as she just said, they found her gripping a tree as if she was trying to get to. There was a river down at the bottom of this ravine, a water source that I think she was trying to get into the water to stop the pain, in a sense. Do you know what I mean? And in turn, if you're trying to end your own life, would you be doing that? No, you would just let it happen. It is you. That is you, Miss Jules. I stopped it in a bad spot. I'm sorry, dude. But yeah, this is why. I'm sorry. Here, let me move it for you. There, that's a little better. You don't look as confused now. But anyway, this is what I'm saying, guys. In my experience with this, I've never in my life seen multiple scenes I've been on that I've seen people that have unalived themselves. Never have I ever encountered one in 17 years where somebody caught themselves on fire. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't really. I'm going to submit the forms and try and get the report myself. I agree. I do too. I would love to. Because I've never sat right. This has never sat right with me ever, guys, ever. And most of us, it hasn't. So hence the reason why we are showing you this again. And we're going to continue with it. And until something is said or something comes out of it that makes sense, because none of this makes sense right now, as she's explaining. So I will shut up and let her finish.
Anna had only returned to town with her boyfriend, Andrew Geigerich, a few days before her death. And that is something that I have always questioned. because we heard this. We heard the neighbors stating that they could hear people fighting in that house all the time. We talked about the layout of the house and the neighborhood. How, yes, it was like a normalish, like countryside neighborhood. And the Collier's house was like in the property where the land surrounded the entire house. And then there was like a whole bunch of trees and a really long driveway.
Right.
So for any arguments to have been heard, they most likely would have had to have been heard at, like been done outside the home. And they would have had to have been pretty loud for the entire neighborhood to hear them because of how this house was placed. And I've always wondered who in the hell they were arguing with or who was arguing with who, especially when we knew Amanda hadn't been around. She had just moved back. And Amanda made it seem as if she was moving back to help her mother. And this is kind of what I've always thought, you guys. I mean, I know that this is like really fishy and that there's been so many things that have not been answered. But I don't know. I feel like if this was an actual like self-deletion incident, then she had some mental issues that we just don't know about. And I've thought that ever since, I don't know, I guess like a few weeks in, whenever we really started like dissecting her life and the way things were, that message about they won't let me go, love you, and then the way that she was found and how none of it makes any sense whatsoever. There's no explanation for any of it. It's very possible she was dealing with her own like mental demon.
Right.
They won't let me go. Send her daughter whatever money she had left in her bank account, and then just veers off in some random spot, takes a bunch of her pain medication, and then lights herself on fire. Could have been something in her brain telling her to do those things to herself.
But wait, there's more. There is something from the day that I saw the place that Deborah pulled into that I have told you guys, and I showed you guys why I knew this. There was another vehicle there, okay? The way that Deborah pulled her van into this spot, she pulled in off at an angle, guys, okay? And it was a very clear blacktop path. She could have pulled straight up in it and walked into the woods after she got out of her vehicle. But she didn't, okay? I'm trying to show you how I can show you this, but okay, if this is the path, okay? She was pulled in like this at an angle, and there was all this other room on the other side of the path. So why didn't she pull in straight like this? Because there was another car on this side and she couldn't. So she had to pull in this way.
Makes sense.
So where is the other car? Who was driving it? Who was there with her when this happened? Period. And they can't tell me that that's not true, because I'm telling you, just common sense, guys. If you pull in to a driveway, you pull in how you can. Okay? So you pull in. If you're pulling into the driveway in your house, your driveway, you pull straight up in if there's no other cars there. But if there's a car there, you pull in and you have to sit in an angle because the other car is taking up half the driveway. That's exactly how this was. And if they say that that's not true, they're lying, because I'm telling you there was another car there. And I saw that from the beginning. So did she have a party before she deleted herself? I like the way you say that, by the way, Jules, just letting you know. But again, is that what happened? Because I doubt it. I doubt it. Okay. And that has bothered me the whole time.
Well, and like Jules said, everything she bought, they never said anything about her buying a gas can or stopping for gas. So where did that come from?
The gas can was brought by the other person in the other car. I promise you that. But of course, they didn't talk about that, did they?
Nope.
No, they didn't. This was not a self-deletion situation, folks. There's no way. I promise you. I'm sorry that I
made a good point. She said, do you think she went to help someone who ran out of fuel? I mean, that's a possibility, but
that could be. Okay. But again, there it is. I have a huge problem with her daughter, guys. I'm never going to
Yeah.
let go of because her daughter's too easily, so very easily, just accepted that she unalived herself. Why? If that was my mother, nope, 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 no. It's common sense, some of the things that we saw. And I'd want to know why and how the hell did her daughter get there so fast? How? That made no sense to me. And if that's the case, then why didn't Jeffrey, her brother, or Deborah's son, why didn't he accept it so fast? Because he knows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm telling you. Right. Jules is saying yes, that running out of the gas could have been deployed to get someone to pull over. That person could have had the gas can. Amen. And then, yes, Amanda said that she had no mental issues when they found the van, but now, ta-da! All of a sudden, Mom was acting weird. Now that I think of it, because it covers your ass, Amanda. That's why.
Yep.
It's your out. That's why. And then the daughter had a family member do a whole live stream, a family member, mind you, and wouldn't go on nobody else's show, but the daughter or the cousin, I think it was, no problem, Jules, did this and to make her look good and to say this is what it is, and that's what it is. That's all there is, people. I'm done by. She had a drug problem. She owed, I think what happened was it, and I said this the very first day, my theory on it was that the daughter owed people money and didn't want to go to pay that money because she owed, and we know she owed money to other people. That's why I think she left town to begin with. And didn't have the balls, I guess, for lack of better words, to go pay that money to people, or didn't have it. In turn, Deborah, the mother that she was to her daughter, she took care of her whole life, folks, just so you guys know. Amanda never did anything for herself. Deborah did everything for her. In turn, I think that she went to take care of that debt, and those people wanted Amanda and said no. And that's where they're not going to let me go came from. And if Amanda's not going to come, this is what happens.
Yep.
That's my thought. That's my theory. And I'm going to stick to it until they show me something that is even remotely different. Follow the money. That's absolutely. Where is the money, by the way? That was never talked about by police at the end of this. They just let that go. That was the most important part of this.
Okay.
But that's just no big deal. It's gone. Where did it go? Where did it go? And then, not to mention, folks, that the daughter said that she drove around for what, 2 hours?
Yeah, something like that. It's something really crazy.
She just drove around. Oh, I went to look for her at Walmart. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Why
If
would
my
you
mother,
do that?
right, if my mother called or sent me a message and that said what that said, the first thing I'm doing is calling 911 and saying, hey, I just got this message. This is the deal, blah, 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 blah. I don't know where she's at, but you need to start looking. And then I would go look for her. I wouldn't drive around for 2 hours, screwing around, doing whatever the hell I'm doing, and then call 911. That's not how that works. This is all wrong. All wrong. I'm sorry, but it's all wrong. My money is a messed up explosion caught split. Shut up, Red. Yeah. The rest of us find ridiculous. That tells me she wants the investigation to end quickly. Thank you, Boone. Exactly. So irritating.
We know how mental issues can work on people. We know what they can make people do to themselves and to others. But if she did not have a direct mental condition to where she had voices in her head telling her things, then she didn't do this to herself.
She wouldn't have been working the job
again,
she
we were
was.
told that she was only charred on her stomach, and then now we're finding out that it was second and third degree burns to 80% of her body, and that her face was completely unrecognizable from the burns. I don't understand, but this is just one more thing on a huge list of things that I will never understand. But that's it. I saw this article last night, and I just wanted to put it out there this morning before I clocked in because it made me a little sad. I feel bad for Miss Debbie. All right. See y'all.
I agree. And thank you for that, Jules.
Well, that's a
Could that
good
have,
possibility. Transporter.
that have been the setup to get her out there? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very much so. She was what, an hour away from her home. She didn't go an hour away to go shopping at Family Dollar. Okay. Now, here's another piece of info that was left out at the end of the case that they never really followed up with. Amanda made a statement in the beginning when this first happened that she was at that Family Dollar that weekend herself. So of course they checked the cameras and didn't see her. But why would she say that, guys?
Yeah, there was a few things that she said that were kind of like slip ups, and then she's like, "Oh, whoops."
Yep. Exactly. Thank you. Again, didn't I hear it was near a stream she could? Yeah, that's what I said, Boone. When they found her, she was at the bottom of a ravine, grasping a tree, holding on to it, like trying to get to the water, I think. Because right past where that tree was, there was a stream of water, and she just didn't make it. They said that she overdosed on oxycodone, which is Percocet, I believe, painkiller. She had a back problem. I'm not so sure that she overdosed or if she was forced to take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a very good possibility.
To make it look that way, in my opinion. That's right, Jules. They never released the phone records. Her phone was turned off and nothing was told about it being turned back on in order to have gotten an alert about that. That's true. Also, her phone was smashed, but Amanda could have been there waiting on her mom to pass by. Who knows anymore? But why would she smash her phone if she was deleting herself? What point would that?
Right.
What? Why? She didn't because somebody else did it. Because somebody else did this whole thing. It's going to come out, and I'm going to do my damnedest to be the one that makes it come out because I'm sick and tired of these things happening like this.
Right.
This woman was a very sweet woman, okay? She was a very heartfelt person. She took care of her children. She loved her children and her husband. The people that she worked with loved her. She did nothing wrong to deserve this type of an ending to her life. Nothing. In turn,
anybody that they interviewed never had a bad word to say about her.
not
Nobody.
one. Nope. That's a fact. That is a fact. Someone was going to unalive her and asked to take in order to feel less. And Mercy think, I hate thoughts. And anybody that wants to unalive somebody typically is not going to care if that person hurts or feels everything, except somebody that might actually kind of care for that person. So think about that too.
Yeah.
Sounds like they thought she was unalived, then tried to burn the evidence, but she woke up and tried to get to water. Thank you, Boone. Thank you very much. That's what I said.
Yep.
And again, our taxes pay these cops' salaries. They owe us answers, and honestly, public servants, people forget that. This is a fact. They work for us, not themselves. Yeah. They work for us. We pay their checks. They need to do their jobs, just like in Dylan's case, in Summer's case, and every other cases. They think that they do what they do, and that's all there is. We don't have the right to ask questions. Well, that's bullshit, and I'm tired of that, especially with cases like this, okay? Because this is ignorant and disgusting, in my opinion. I'm sorry. Well, unless it's
a daughter.
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying. Drugs and money, folks. It's all the motivation in the world that anybody needs nowadays. There's an episode of I Survived just like this. Same episode as one I sent you about the train. Okay. I guess I'm about to check this show out because I've never really watched too much of it. But thank you for that, Nikki. And yeah, but someone commented on my video who put out the fire because it didn't just. Oh.
Huh.
Wow. The only thing I can think of, that's a good point. Unless because the ground was damp, there was a lot of leaves and stuff. If she was rolling around, you know what I'm saying? That very well could have put the fire out.
That was like, what, October?
Yeah. But she was nude. She was nude. I think she might have been nude maybe because she took her clothes off because she was on fire.
Could be. Unless somebody was trying to essay and.
Yeah. But I think that it came back that didn't happen.
Well, I don't think it happened. I'm saying they were attempting maybe.
Yeah, trying to. You got me thinking hard now.
Mm-hmm.
Her shirt was burnt. There were pieces of it that were burnt. Where's her pants, though? That's the thing. If she was completely naked, where's her pants? 10th of September. Yeah, I agree. So this is what I'm saying, folks. This is what I'm saying. And this is why. And I've looked and looked. And other than Jules, there's nothing. Because, to me, it seems like they wanted everything to just go away.
No, Orphan, her face was burnt.
Yeah.
Her face was burnt. She was unrecognizable.
80% of her body, Nikki, everything. And it was like leather, they said. So that tells you right there. It was not just her stomach. We were told that it was just her abdomen. That's it.
Face, scalp.
Her face was burnt too. And here's the thing. Hold on a minute.
He's closed after investigating the death of an.
Here, I'll let you guys see this real fast too. This was 3 months ago, folks. She even had burns into her scalp and her hair. So, I mean, she burnt, okay? She was lit on fire, period. And here, I cannot bring myself to accept the fact that this woman set herself on fire. It doesn't make sense to me. You can't do that. It just wasn't happening. Second and third degree, it sat for a minute. That's right. Yeah, see, none of it fits with me, guys. It just doesn't. There it is.
An Athens woman for months as a homicide. The county coroner has now ruled it a suicide. The case of Debbie Collier's bizarre disappearance and even stranger death made international headlines and split family opinions as to what exactly happened.
There it is.
How did we get here? Debbie was reported missing from her app.
Hold on, I want you to see this.
I'm sorry. I still do not think that is her. I don't.
Okay, now look. You guys see how the van is pulled in as if she came from this direction and pulled in. Do you see how much of this over here was taken up?
Yep.
I think so, Boone. I don't know for a fact. But there was a vehicle here. Otherwise, she would not have been at that angle, guys. Do you see it now?
Yep.
There's no way she pulled in that way without having another vehicle to pull next to. I don't know. We'll have to look at that again.
It was kind of like a step. The door hit her, and then she kind of walked on it.
Right. Let's see.
What exactly happened? So how did we get here? Debbie was reported missing.
It looks like she paused. Right there.
Debbie was reported missing from her Athens home on September 10th. Was reported, we get here. Debbie was reported, we get here. Debbie was reported missing from her Athens home on September.
She paused at the door.
I don't think it's her. Sorry. Just
So
my
how
opinion.
did we get here?
We did this before where we were trying to tell if it was her. But well, I found a hat that has the hair sticking out of it. I showed that to you guys.
Yep.
It's definitely not her daughter because we looked at that. That's not her daughter's build. But like swinging the door open threw her balance off. Right. Exactly. As if she was on something or drunk or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Threw her balance off. Yeah.
If you look, those doors aren't that heavy.
So how did we get here? Debbie was.
See? Yeah, she kind of just like, right. I never really thought about that before, Jules. Thank you. One more time.
How did we get here? Debbie was reported.
Right, that. Yep. Maybe she was already on the pain pills.
Could be. Maybe that's why she had to stop and get Chick-fil-A or whatever it was. She'd taken the medicine and it was hitting her harder because she was on an empty stomach. And
here's the thing. I agree with you to an extent on that one, Jules, about the cashier. And somebody did say before in our channel that maybe it was Andrew, but because he's a little thing. You know, he wasn't very big. And the legs and the shoes, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. You guys tell me yourself. He could have wore a bra and stuffed it with some socks. And
how tall is Debbie?
She's little, like
5'5" or less?
I think she was 5'4" or 5'5".
Okay. Most people 5'4", 5'5" or less do not have feet that big.
No. And that was another thing that I was looking at too, especially with those shoes.
Yeah, because I'm 5'8", 5'9", and I wear between an 8.5 and a 9.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, her feet don't fit her body. Look, if you look at her legs.
Not at all.
So it very well could have been. Okay. He's little. He's really small. In fact, I think that he was 5'3" or 5'4" or something like that. That's tiny for a guy.
Yeah.
He could have very well did this to be, you know, they probably, if it was a whole premeditated thing,
you never know, Jules. That could be.
Did Steve have a mistress? Because I don't know if it's my own personal past or not, but I look at Steve more than Amanda and Andrew. You know, I did look at Steve too, only because of the 911 call, if we remember that.
What's your forearm to the same size as your feet? Oh.
But he's a tiny person.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he ever did the whole AMA thing or whatever the hell he tried to say he did and survived it all. Okay. So I just don't. I don't know what the heck that is. Anyway, so yeah, he was a very little person. And as I explained to you guys, the one video we did, she never told Steve bye. She didn't leave a note. And that was something else too that got me. But if we look right here, I showed you, oh, too far. I showed you guys a picture of her in a dress before, okay? And this shirt, we talked about this before. Debbie was kind of big busted, okay, in the picture that I showed you in the dress. But look at this. Doesn't that look a little off as compared to the other picture that we had looked at? Some of you guys weren't in here to see it, but
Well, and I've never seen a jersey with that low cut of neckline.
I think somebody had showed me a picture of one that was like kind of like that. But I don't know, folks. That doesn't look to me like that I'm not trying to be a pervert or anything like that. But that
Right.
there does not look like her build. She was a lot bustier in the picture I showed you of her in that dress. I mean, you could tell, period. That's not it right there. That's not the same one. Her lack of jewelry bothers me. Yeah, she had jewelry on in her other pictures too. Quite a bit of it, to be honest with you. So, and
Miss Boone, I think they said it was a skirt versus a skirt. I think,
yeah,
if I remember right.
they're skirts. And then let's go back for those of you that have been following this with us. Stares ominously at toes. Okay. The purse thing. Remember the purse thing, okay? That was kind of important too.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the purse that she was carrying. And her purse was found at home. Explain that one.
Yeah, the person at home had her driver's license and stuff in it.
Right. This is off for so many reasons, guys.
And when she checked out, didn't she start to grab her debit card or cash or whatever from her purse and then got it from somewhere else?
She pulled it out of her pocket. What woman carries a purse like that that's empty per se and keeps their debit card in their pocket?
It doesn't make sense.
Nobody. Where to go? The purse is empty, in my opinion. Mine too. She reaches in her pocket for the card to pay for stuff. None of that makes any sense.
Well, Nikki, it's blurred right now because it's a video, and that's just the way he stopped it. It was kind of like she was in motion when he stopped the video. It kind of made it blurry.
Yeah, you really can't see her face at this, and I think that was done on purpose.
Might have been.
They made sure that they kept their face down from the camera. They didn't look up at the counter or anything. Whoever this is, I mean, I can go with the fact that it's not her. I really can. Trying to find. Reported missing September 10th, was found deceased September 11th. And she went, her trip that she made, she went to the, I showed you guys that in the parking lot. When she pulled in to the parking lot, she pulled in and hesitated a couple times and then pulled up to the front of the store as if she was going to park back in the spaces back from the store. Okay. And then when she stopped for a minute and then she pulled up to the front of the store as if she was told to, or it was part of, like, for whatever reason, you know what I mean? She went in the store. She did what she did. She came back out and she sat in the car before she did anything for, I think we timed it and it was like 6 or 7 minutes she sat there maybe. And then she pulled out. When she pulled out, she hesitated again. And then she made sure that she drove out of the parking lot rather than backing out and making a left and going out the quickest route she could have. She went all the way down through the parking lot and went out the furthest way. And she stayed as far away from the stores as she could. She stayed out in the back of the parking lot. She turned out made a right and went down, and then she turned around and came back down. And that's what this picture is right here. And then there was a time lapse in between that and the time that supposedly she ended up in that clearing. None of it makes sense. None of it. Good point. Good point. What are you saying that to, Jules? Yeah, why did she buy a reusable duffel bag if she was going to end her life? None of it makes sense. The things she bought. Do you think instead of locking the car with the fob, like I thought that maybe she remote started it because someone really was in there? And I said that too. I said that it would have been very easy for somebody to be in there laying down in the back seat on the floor, because the windows are black. You can't see them except for the two front windows. And I tried, you guys.
I didn't think about remote start though.
All right. Well, I mean, that's a rental van, but it's one of the newer vehicles, and they have that remote start in them. Yeah, that's a fact too. Yeah, her face was down the whole time in that, and I swear that was done on purpose. This is off in every aspect, you guys. There is something completely off with this, and I don't understand how or why law enforcement did not pick this apart.
Well, but if you're carjacked, Miss Boone, they usually take the car.
They don't leave the car there.
Yeah.
If a guy maybe unsteady, well, they weren't heels, but they were like a platform type shoe. They had a very thick bottom to them. You know, those platform, I don't know what chunks are they called, chunks or something like that.
I think so. Hey, Green Eyes.
It's not like she was looking in her purse, because she wasn't. Somebody made a comment months ago that she may have had a phone in her purse that was giving her orders as to what she was supposed to be doing, and that could have been what she was looking at. I just think in action with the hold on a minute. Jules says, I just think an action with the fob was taken because she lifted it up in her hand when she walked in. Right. I was so sure she locked it, but you could definitely be right. Someone could have been in there. I'm telling you, there could have been somebody laying on the back floor behind her seat. Now, when I got the video of her in the parking lot, I blew it up as big as I absolutely could. And all I did was blurt it out. You couldn't see. And then I followed her all the way out of the parking lot, and you could not see. But there very well could have been somebody laying on that floor behind her with a gun to her back, telling her, drive away from the building so the cameras don't pick up anything. You know, they don't see, because if the building has cameras in that, which I think we found out that they did have them. I can't remember where. It's been a while. That they would want you to drive further away from the building so that the cameras couldn't pick somebody up or see what she was doing. But she was in that parking lot when she got back in the van for a minute, like she was doing something or reading something. And that was the same point in time that Amanda got the Venmo message and the Venmo payment right there. So I'm telling you guys, this is, damn it. This is so sorry, guys. Sorry. This is how she pulled in here. For those of you that are newer to this, she pulled in over here, came around, pulled in this way, and she stopped right there. Okay, and she sat there for a second, and then let's see if it shows it. Okay, then she pulls up into this space right in front of the store. Now that I it's either not her walking into Family Dollar or it is her and someone was in the van. That's exactly how I feel about it, Jules. When you get right here, Let me get her in the space. Okay. Oh, then it moves on to the Jeffrey picture, I think. Yeah, that's Jeffrey. So right here, she pulled in here, and I tried to zoom in, and I couldn't get it any bigger than I did. So, sorry, this is blurry. That's her and her son, Jeffrey.
Miss Boone, it was a reusable bag, paper towels.
There it is.
My brain just went blank.
There was a red, yeah, it was a red tote bag, paper towels, a rain tarp, just one of those pullover rain tarps. Like a tarp. Well, you said a tarp, the blue tarp thing, and one of those long, like
the lighter.
Yeah, one of those longer lighters, like that you would use to light your candles or a grill or something.
Yeah.
There was something else though, wasn't there? Or was that it?
What are we missing?
Paper towels, the tote bag. Oh, yeah, I forgot that she went to Chick-fil-A too.
Mm-hmm.
If someone else was in there, she only ordered one meal, but that could have been done so that it looked like she was alone. Very true.
Poncho. That was the other one.
Poncho, yeah, the pullover rain poncho is what that
Poncho,
was.
the tarp, the red tote bag, paper towels. So 4.
The lighter.
The lighter. So 5.
Right. 100%. Is this Amanda gabbing?
Really, a week later, saying she believed her mother.
Yeah, this is all fake as far as I'm concerned. I don't even care. Her voice makes me and her face makes it even worse. And here's something else I have a problem with. Cause of death was inhalation of superheated gases, thermal injury. Now, Mary's Place channel going down. Reporting you for copyright scammer. Okay, do whatever you got to do.
Thank you, Linda.
This
Linda's
isn't
from South Africa, by the way.
Yes, South Africa. I found out. This is a news broadcast, so you do what you got to do there, Mary. What a joke. People are so stupid sometimes. Thanks for the view, by the way. That's like I know it's from a news source, Jules. That's what I was saying, and the other one was from you. So go ahead and report that one. So, thank you so much, Linda. I appreciate you, especially all the way from South Africa. That's awesome. The news source, or no? So she bought her own mixer kit. Basically, Nikki, that's what it was, and I think she was forced to. I'm sorry. Now, in the autopsy, what you were reading from the New York Post, Jules, this whole inhalation of superheated gases, okay? It can be done. I've seen it. I've heard of it being done, but I don't. I need to see the autopsy because I want to see what her lungs look like, and what they said about her lungs in the autopsy. I really need to see that, and the rest of her windpipe and whatnot. Thanks, Jules. Appreciate you. Hydrocodone intoxication. And from what everybody says, Pink, she was a very sweet lady. Very sweet. Thank you for being here, by the way, Pink. Let's see what else is here. Thermal injuries. That's basically just from the fire. I think that's it. Okay, that is it. So that's where we're at, guys, with that. Yeah, and her daughter used and abused her. I can imagine her daughter, seeing the way her daughter acted like in real life. No. She was very melodramatic, very loud, a crybaby, spoiled brat type thing, that kind of stuff. So Okay, do what you got to do, Mary. Have fun. Can somebody block that or something, please? Hydrocodone intox could literally just mean she took her pill that morning and it was in her system. Thank you. Could someone have said, please come help, that they hit an animal, it's dead, but they need to bury the animal? I mean, yeah, anything's possible, Boone.
Yeah.
Absolutely anything is possible at that point. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's just I can't get comfortable with this at all. Not even any piece of it. I can't. Like I said, we saw that there was another car there. We see who she is. They interviewed multiple people about her, like, and everybody said the same thing, that they never imagined that she had any kind of anything going on, this and that, everything else. They did, Pink. Thank you. Mary is probably Amanda or Andrew. Very possible. I think, Andrew, I feel bad for him in a way, but not that I don't think he's not involved in this. I feel bad for Jeffrey, I'll be honest with you. Her son. I really do. Thank you, Miss Heather. Makes you wonder if the poncho was for the unaliver to wear into the woods to disguise themselves. Very, very possible, Mike. It's all very possible, because I don't think they found that, did they? They never found
They never mentioned it.
Right. They never said anything about that. They never said anything about the lighter. There were pieces of the tarp that were found there, and there were pieces of the tote bag that were found there. In turn, the things that were burnt. And then the only thing I can think of is a homeless person. She was taking food who is living in the woods. I mean, there's more to it than that, Boone, that you don't know. But yeah, that could be a very, very good, theory on it.
We talked about the homeless situation way back, that it could possibly be a homeless person that, was either strung out or some kind of mental health issues, or
let's not forget that there was also this happened right on the edge of a rehab property. Okay. And the daughter had drug problems bad. And
Andrew.
That's what made me think that maybe there was somebody she was meeting to pay off a debt that may have been in rehab, and that's why they met there. They cut through the woods, because I showed you guys a video proving it's very easy to get to where she was right from the parking lot of the rehab. You cut right into the woods right there, and there it was.
Yeah, wasn't Andrew supposed to report there or something that weekend? Or
Andrew was supposed to report to a rehab for whatever. I think he had a DUI or something. Well, that was convenient that that's a rehab right behind where this happened. That was something else that was not talked about.
Right. There wasn't a whole lot that was talked about, period.
No, this was very weird, the way this was covered. 5 months ago, what happened at Collier? New details unveil Athens woman's final tragedy. Well, this is another news source, just so you know, Mary.
All right, let's get to it.
So that way you can. Well, it happened in my town. They found the lady upside down in her Hummer in an area 2 towns over. Wow. Interesting, Boone. Interesting. Here's another news source that you can take, Mary, and give me a copyright on if you want to. Go for it. Again, thanks for the views, Mary. I appreciate you.
The top story tonight: what happened to Deborah Collier? This mystery is gaining national attention tonight as new details reveal the Athens woman's tragic final moments. More than a week after her body was found in Habersham County, about an hour away from her home, a police report reveals the exact details of the crime scene. And a warning, folks, they are very disturbing. 11 police has been following this case very closely.
And Cody, investigators did reveal what.
I didn't know you left, Molly. Where'd you go? Shame on you for not telling me. I'm just kidding. Welcome back.
New detail in the past few hours, but basically a lot of red flags with this entire story.
No doubt about that, Jennifer. Start with a random Venmo text to her daughter where she transferred $2,300 to her Venmo account with this cryptic message that said, "They won't let me go." Also, in the missing persons report, her daughter said her mom has never ran away,
Gotcha, Moon.
wasn't suicidal. She was, in fact, the front office manager for an Athens real estate company, had no reason to leave. So why would she just
Right.
pick up and take off? Let's walk through some of the other bizarre aspects of this case. 59-year-old Deborah Collier was
59.
reported missing on the evening of September 10th. Her husband, who she lives with at their Athens home, told police he last saw Collier before they went to bed at 9 p.m. the night before.
Now, again, that's an even better picture. I want you guys to see that. You see her back tire over here and how close, like she's way at an angle, guys. If you were driving down the road, I was just teasing you, Molly. Don't worry about it, hon. And you pulled into this pull in or drive in or what drive up, whatever. It's very smooth. It's not rocky or bumpy or anything that you had to crawl over with this van. You pull straight in, straight on, right or wrong. Most
Right.
people, right? So if you look here, all of this open space, you can actually almost see indentation there from a tire, it looks like. And maybe there, but it's not even, to me, it's not important. But there was another vehicle sitting here, guys. There had to have been, period, or she would not have pulled in that way. That's a strong point that I really have been on. Like, see there, it shows there. Okay, see, this is oncoming traffic right here. So oncoming traffic, she would have made, put her right turn signal on and just made a right-hand turn straight up in there, but she didn't. She went in this way, kind of at an angle, because there's another vehicle, guys. There had to have been another vehicle sitting there. I'm sorry. So
Hey, Dago, it's about 2:30.
I figured she was coming up. That's no problem, and thank you so much for being here.
All right, you're welcome. Bye, guys.
Yep. I'll talk to you soon again. Thanks for everything,
Okay.
hon.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm not even gonna go there with that one, K-Dips, because you're on your own on that, bro. Now, as you see, they're towing this out of here, and it's still, there's all that room next to her car that she could have covered herself, but she didn't. So anyway, whatever. Moving on. She sent her daughter the $2,385. They're not going to let me go. Love you there. And here's the other side, this other little thing too. There is a key under the blue vase in front of the house. Why? What was the reason behind that? Okay, this is her daughter who's been to her home. She lived with her at one point. Okay. So if you're going to do this to yourself, here's $2,385 through Venmo. They're not going to let me go. Here's a key to the house. Why does she need a key to the house? That made no sense to me at all. None at all. KD, in that case, it would be into the median. Yeah, we focus so much on the money that we kind of forget that part. The mainstream to this part makes even less sense. Right, exactly, Jules. And that's what it was all about in the beginning for everybody, was the money. We tried to decrypt everything we could with the whole money thing, every piece of it, and it's whatever. Hold on. Again, there it is. And that's a severe angle too. So whatever was here was taking up some room. And then we have this area here. This is where this all happened. Now, don't forget the other small little thing that they found one bullet, an unspent shell casing in this area, just one. There was no gun found at all. So in my opinion, that one bullet could have fallen out of the person that took her jacket that was holding the gun on her, or their pocket, or if they loaded their gun, it could have been dropped out, any bit of it, but only one bullet was found. Not only when it comes to her mom's house itself, but the rental she lived in before she apparently had been inside the rental days before this. So a key to what? Where? Right. Exactly. That doesn't make any sense. Thank you, Heather. Guys, again, if you have not, please go over, check out Jules of All Trades True Crime. Show her some love. Subscribe. She's got some great stuff over there, guys. I wouldn't be showing it to you if it wasn't. So again, my point. None of this makes any sense. This is the whole area here, guys. I'll let that one play there.
Daughter said she had rented the van because she had wrecked her car. Authorities used its Sirius XM radio to track the van to this rural area near Tallulah Falls. Collier's body partially naked.
Now, see, they said partially naked in the news reports, and that's what the law enforcement had said. But when Jules read that from that area, she was naked, period. Didn't say partially, didn't say this, didn't say that. Said her body was naked. The UPS lane is always hauling in. Oh, yeah.
On fire, her hands gripping a small tree, and next to her, a red tote bag and a partially burnt tarp.
That's that. So again, if she really wanted to delete herself, why was she like trying to get away from a situation by grabbing that tree? Explain that one. It don't make sense. There was no note left to her husband that she obviously loved, to her children, other than Amanda. She tried to send Jeffrey a message, I believe, or tried to put a call through or something, and it didn't happen. Thank you, Molly. We're going to probably be digging on it again, hun, so good. I had to delete everything because of my computer system issues, so I had a lot of stuff in here, guys. A whole lot. I'm surprised my computer just didn't throw up on me and fall apart. She fell down the embankment. She tried to send a text and it failed before she turned the phone off. Right. Exactly. And like I said, if she did that, why did she try to break the phone? She didn't. That doesn't make sense. So she would have sent the Amanda the money and the text, and then Jeff the text, and then turned the phone off and not sending a message to Steve. Why? Why didn't Steve get a message, folks? Makes no sense to me. I bet it don't to you either. Yeah, and by the way, Jules has 2 channels, guys. She's got another one that she's doing. Where'd it go? Where is it at? Cece, thank you so much. The logical and the oddity. She's talking. That's just talking about like the derailment for the trains and local events and stuff like that. But I am super grateful to you, Jules, for covering that, because I'm right around the corner from that. So thank you for putting the word out on that one. Molly says also, remember the location of her in the property line of the rehab. That's what I just talked about. That you weren't here, hun, but thank you for bringing that up, because I did. The rehab was right behind it. I mean, like right next to it, literally. Like if you walk back into the woods to where she was and went to the left, you were at the rehab. That was really convenient too. And again, guys, there's no coincidences in true crime as far as I'm considered. So think about it. And yes, there was also a rumor that Jeff had her blocked at one point, I'm sure, which is why the text didn't go through. But I don't know if that's true or not either, because Jeff was very adamant about he wanted justice for his mother. So if that was the case, I don't see that being, what it was. I don't know any woman who would park a car like that without a good reason. They would stay on the tarmac. Thank you, transporter. That's my point. Unless you couldn't, because there was a car sitting here. There's a car sitting here. She couldn't pull all the way in straight. And that car, in my opinion, is the car that of the person that brought the gas can. Because she didn't buy a gas can at Family Dollar. Okay. And this, guys, so you know, I think you know, but I'm just going to remind you, this is not her vehicle. This is a rental vehicle. So she wouldn't have a gas can in this vehicle. Just saying. Timing is more than interesting for sure. That's a fact. The ID thing, that's a fact. Jeff seems the only one that cares. We still hear nada from Steve. Steve did not say a word. He didn't make a statement. He didn't do anything, folks. Why? Okay. Makes no sense to me. And he was, honest to God, you guys, if you heard the 911 call, he was way too calm for me. And Biden being nowhere to be found. No female allowed to help. Oh, yeah. I got you, Boone. Thank you for that. Yeah, it was a rental car. Her actual car was ready that same day to be picked up. Absolutely. Maybe the message about the key was about an extra key for her actual car that was ready to be picked up from the shop. That's a good point. But the shop would have the keys, though. Do you know what I'm saying? And if they'd have just left the key in, like, under the thing here or under the seat or something, I would think. Could the Venmo money have been for the car to be paid and picked up? Well, I would venture to say because it wasn't her fault that the insurance would have paid for that, and that would have been what it was. That's my thought, but they had Steve. Steve was covered because he was at the stadium the whole day parking cars. Let me see that for a minute. Go ahead. Anyway, so you know that in that sense, that makes sense to me completely. So I'm just thinking off the cuff because this is insane. It is absolutely 100% insane, you guys. For real. The thing with 911 calls is that when I will be calm as I need to communicate exactly to get help, I took. Oh yeah, I got you. Shop would have a key. She would have to pay a debt, I'm sure, but don't see it deductible. Right. I don't either. But she may not. The other person's insurance company should have paid for it because she was hit by somebody in a truck, I believe. He was working, and it was like I think. So I think it was covered by the other company the way it came off, but I don't know for 100%. I don't know, folks. This is just something's wrong. Again, you can see the angle of the van. It proves to me there was a car here. I'm sorry, people may disagree. I don't. I feel that way strongly. So there's that. Come to the dark side where I reside. Yeah, it was a truck. Amanda lied. It was a paint truck, wasn't it? Well, Amanda lied about the guy being a criminal to throw the scent his way, which is an interesting behavior for sure, because why would you do that like that if you had nothing to hide? She was looking for any out she could, in my opinion, to find someone to blame this on. And nobody in their right mind would believe that, guys. Nobody. Nobody is like that. That was just ridiculous the way she did that. So, you know. But you're shedding light. Oh, we're going to make sure that, yeah, we're shedding light on this one for sure, folks. I told you guys back then that I wasn't ready to let this go. And now that Jules brought that back out, as I even told her when she did it, I'm doing a follow-up because, and I'm going to keep digging. I'm going to keep digging. And here's what I want to know now at this point, now that this is said and done. Okay. I'd like to find out if there was an insurance policy paid out. I really would. That's big to me. I'd also like to see what Amanda's been up to since this has all gotten quiet. Jeffrey had responded to me on Facebook at one point, but then he got overwhelmed with it all and just completely closed down his Facebook account. So I'm looking to see if maybe, down here, since some time has passed, that maybe I can talk to him again. Because I explained to him that I wanted to put, I agreed with him. I wanted this put out there because it needs to be talked about, and the justice needs to happen in Debbie's sake, Let them out. Yep, let them out. Your guard down, then show back up. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. I want to see what's going on. Being ruled as such, I doubt it. Yeah, so I've never trusted Amanda from day one. Never, ever, ever, ever. Because of the way she acted, just everything about it, guys, was off. Completely off. I don't like it at all. Let me see. I wanted you guys to see, for those of you that weren't familiar, I wanted to see if I could find yeah, that was what happened too with Jeffrey. The sheriff laughed at him, guys, because he said he wanted something done and didn't like how it was being handled, and that the sheriff laughed at him. How about that? How sad is that? Let me see if this is still here. Oh, yes. Listen to this, folks. Hold on.
Yes.
Here we go. These are the 911 calls, folks. Want you to hear it. Hold on. How rude of the man is not shocking, but it grosses it. Oh, absolutely. I agree with you 100% on that one, dear. I really do. Made me sick. Okay.
Came on, my wife wasn't home, her driver's license still in there, the red car's on, and her daughter's here, and we were kind of worried about what's happening and where she's at. I was wondering if you could send somebody over here.
Okay. Do you have any medical issue, let's say like Alzheimer's or something like that?
No, she's 59 years old. No, she has no medical issues like that. And according to her daughter, who went up and her purse is still here with her driver's license. The only thing is the phone is gone, and she texted her daughter a text about 2 hours ago saying they won't let me go. Whatever that means, we don't know. And I've been gone all day parking cars for the football game, and that's where we at.
Daughter is text message saying that they
Stepdaughter
that they want to go,
Yeah, she's got a text message saying that.
and it comes from her number, right? What's your name, sir?
Steve Collier.
Spell your last name for me.
Collier.
And your wife's name?
Yes, Deborah. Before we call her Debbie, but it's Deborrah.
What's your last name?
Collier, yeah.
How old is she? 59?
59. She just turned 59.
You just returned home, right?
Pardon me?
You just returned home, right?
Yes, I just returned home. I was parking cars until about 4:30, and when I came back, the van that she had rented because the car was in shop was gone. I figured she was shopping for food.
Okay.
That's what I said, transporter.
Pardon me? Her van's not here.
Okay. But her driver's license and what else is there?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, the driver's license is here.
what else did she leave for the purse or anything else?
Yeah, she left the purse and the credit cards are here.
When was the last time she was seen?
Well, I left at 9 o'clock. She was still sleeping. So, last night. I mean, went to bed last night, and I left, and the van was here.
So is your stepdaughter there though? I mean, did she see her today?
Pardon me?
Did your stepdaughter see her today?
Wait a minute.
You say stepdaughter. Did she see her or?
Say that again. I'm trying to control a dog.
Okay, your stepdaughter. Did she see her?
No, nobody has seen her. I was probably last person to see her last night.
What time? Is it 9 o'clock last night?
Yeah, by 9 o'clock we went to bed.
What time was the message sent to your stepdaughter?
What time? About 2 hours ago?
He does too. If you didn't catch that, guys, watch.
I was probably last person to see her last night.
What time? Is it 9 o'clock last night?
Yeah, by 9 o'clock we went to bed. And I left, and the van was here.
So is your stepdaughter there though? I mean, did she see her today?
Pardon me?
Did your stepdaughter see her today?
Wait a minute.
You say stepdaughter. Did she see her or?
Say that again. I'm trying to control a dog.
Okay, your stepdaughter. Did she see her?
No, nobody has seen her. I was probably last person to see her last night.
What time? Is it 9 o'clock last night?
Yeah, by 9 o'clock we went to bed.
What time was the message sent to your stepdaughter?
What time? About 2 hours ago?
Two hours
2 hours
ago.
ago?
Yes.
And she's just now calling 911. She didn't even do it. She had Steve do it.
And it specifically said they won't let me go.
Yeah, that's what the message said.
Good point, Jules. You're trying to control a
And
dog.
That's all it said, right?
That's all it said.
Trying to control a dog, but there was no barking. No, he didn't sound like he was like struggling. So no, that I don't believe.
Yeah, that's what the message said.
And that's all it said, right?
That's all it said.
But that's not true either.
And she was last seen driving, or she was driving her. What kind of car is that?
It's I don't know, because the car's in shop, so
What about the money? Why didn't you tell him
Okay,
about that?
she's driving. Is that what she's being, or you don't know?
No, I don't know. It's Enterprise. She made a call from Enterprise. It's a Pacifica or something.
That's the car you saw this morning, though, right?
Yeah, the black van. Yeah.
I agree with you too, Jules.
It's a black Pacifica,
Yes, I'm pretty sure it's Pacifica.
and that's a rental car.
Yes, from Enterprise.
And Amanda had the
All
paperwork.
right, I'm sorry. What's her birthday?
Deborah. D-E-B-B-I-E, or her given name is Deborah.
No, her birthday.
D-E-B-O-R-A.
Her birthday? And she white female, black female?
Pardon me?
She
white
was
or
there.
Black.
White.
He spoke to her.
How tall is she?
About 5'5",
How much she weigh?
about 150, 145, somewhere around there.
What color hair?
Blondish.
That's exactly what it was.
House or?
That's a good question. I thought she was out shopping for food. Her daughter came over with that strange message, and then went upstairs to her bedroom and found out that her driver's license and credit card's still here. So that doesn't sound like her leaving the house to go shopping like I thought she was. She usually shops for food on Saturday.
So she don't have any money at all with her or any other car? There's no-
Not to our knowledge, she has nothing.
But is her purse there?
Yes,
She left the purse as well?
yes.
Right.
Does she have family here in town?
No, just her daughter.
Have you tried to call the hospitals and jails just to be sure?
No, I didn't think of calling the hospital.
Okay. Go ahead.
not.
I got them on the way out there to you.
Okay,
Go ahead and call both hospitals after this in St. Mary's and to check with the
Okay.
jail as well to make sure. And we'll have somebody come out there and talk to you.
Okay.
Ask the court to me, please. Hi, can I speak with Colonel Johnson? Okay, I don't have a Colonel Johnson. Okay, He just called me. I have some more information for him, and I just wanted to give it to him. My name's Amanda Bearden. Okay. All right, hold on one second. I talked to you earlier. Yes, Sergeant Johnson. We had to talk to you. Hold on. Sergeant Johnson. I'm sorry. No, that's okay. There's lots of Johnsons around here, so I want to make sure I get it.
Okay, so it's money now, right?
Yes, ma'am. I thought about it, and I have her iCloud information. I know that and correct me if I'm wrong, but if the phone is turned off, it would still track her. But I do have her. I've got her Apple ID and what I thought was her password, but the password isn't working. I don't know if y'all have technology or whatever, but I do have. I don't know. I mean, you know. All right, hold on one second. Okay. Call me back. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Molly. That's exactly what it was, transporter.
All right, ma'am. He said he'd be calling you back shortly. Okay. Thank you so much. All right, no problem. Thank you.
Maybe a little bit.
Start Penny, please.
Yes, sir. My name is Diane Shirley, and my sister lives in Georgia, and my niece told me she was missing. Her name is Deborah Collier, or she could go by Debbie.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if y'all have any information about it.
As far as, I mean, no, not other than with the officer or whoever is working on the case. I don't know anything. Where does she live? Do you know?
All I know is Athens. I'm sorry. I don't know
What's
her address. Collier.
Okay.
Coxier.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have any information. You know, when there's something, they will contact the family. Whenever they, like I said, whenever they have something for that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We're just not getting information, so I'm just.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I am really worried about my sister,
Okay.
and
you know, do you have information where she might go, or do you have anything to add?
Well, from my niece, she said that she was in an accident about a month ago, and she was, on the road. She was following this truck, and this truck lost a paint can, and the paint can hit my sister's car, and the paint went everywhere. And the driver was trying to convince my sister not to tell the cops that he was driving because he was out on parole, and there was, a stipulation to his parole that he couldn't drive.
I got you. I'm sorry. I was going to ask, do you think that was told to anybody else? Do you think that was told to the officer, that concern?
That's standing for my niece.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if the officer knows that.
You see how hard she was pushing that narrative, guys? Amanda was, to try to get this blamed on somebody else. See what I'm saying? That bothers me.
But I can have him call you if you want to pass it along with anything to help,
Yes, I would really appreciate that.
Yeah, that's
because I'm in Alabama.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm in Alabama, and I really do. She won't, she's not communicating very well with us, and I really would like to know what's going on.
I got you. Yeah, since you may have insight on that, I'll have the sergeant give you a call. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. That would be wonderful.
There they are. Put that on the table. Put it on the table. Put it on the table. Thanks. And that's where we're at with it, folks. At this point, I just don't. Nothing about it I can trust. Nothing. She had to have got that info intentionally prior to the phone being broken. Right. I agree. Amanda had the rental car paperwork, right? Why would she have that? What are you saying, Pink? Mm-hmm. Right. We all feel that way. Absolutely. Absolutely. Plus, everything for her and Steve was connected. I'm sure they shared the same everything. Everything. Their Facebook accounts, this, that, and everything else. It was all logged together, guys. Their bank account. The Venmo was in Steve's name. Let's see here. That's exactly how I feel about it too, Jules. I'm sure it probably was, Red. I don't know, Boone. If you saw the daughter, you'd probably say no. Sorry. That's just my opinion. I almost wonder what Amanda's doing now, since mom's gone and there's no financial link anymore to take care of her. How about that? Wanted to show you guys something real fast if I could find it. 1 second. Hold on. I looked this up back when the case was still hot. Yeah. I can't remember what he does. I think he worked at a bank. Yeah, he works for a bank. All right, there's that. Now, and gee, there is the actual message on Venmo, folks. I can go into my Venmo and find it for you. Steve Collier paid Amanda Bearden on 9/10 of 22. They are not going to let me go. Love you. There is a key to the house in the blue flower pot by the door. And then on 5th, Steve paid. And let's see, where'd it go? Let's try that again. Oh, wait a minute. August 17th, Amanda Bearden was paid by Steve Collier for a refill for a script. August 11th, Amanda Bearden was paid by Steve Collier for gas. August 8th, Amanda Bearden was paid by Steve Collier for a battery. August 2nd, Amanda Bearden was paid by Steve Collier to Amanda from Debbie. Right. So Debbie was Amanda's income, okay? And down here, there was more. Jeffrey had paid her money too. Now, let me see if this one's the same. No. Hold on. Let me show you this one. To Amanda from Debbie was one of them, so it would have just met right. Oh, looks like Jeff took his down. I think she got them into some off-labeled meds, and boom. So yeah, guys, I had access to the Venmo, which you can do that with anybody. You know that if you have Venmo. And went and looked at it all, and it was every other day or every few days that Debbie was sending Amanda money for something, even before she moved back up here, guys, from Indiana. And now that lifeline is gone, unless Steve is continuing. But there hasn't been anything else paid on Venmo after that payment. I think she got it. Really went south. Right. Like I said, folks, I'm going to refresh this case. Now that Jules did that, I'm going to follow it up. We're going to dig. We're going to do some digging, and we're going to start looking and see what's going on. Recently, I should say. And see how things have been since Mom's gone, you know? And they even shared hold on. They even shared Facebook. Oh, shit, I can't find it now. Hold on. They probably took their shit down. Wait, hold on. What did you say there, Boone? I think the cops rolled it out that way to keep some of her dignity. Probably, Boone. Which is so dumb to me because at first we were giving them props for how they were handling it, and then they failed miserably. You're absolutely right. If we all were doing that, like, great job, you know, this is awesome. Just like that, it was done. It almost makes me feel. Now, I'm not the rabbit hole guy, okay? I'm not Mr. Conspiracy. I don't do that. But the way this flipped, now think about this for a minute, guys. The way this flipped script like it did, I mean, it did a 360 overnight, okay? It almost makes me think that the police found something that made them nervous and they wanted to get rid of it, okay? I hate saying that, but I mean, it was overnight that they changed their mind like that. They completely avoided the press conference. They nothing, and they never came back out with anything for the press conference. They came out in, you know, just out of nowhere. They weren't supposed to, and said, "This is what it is. It's a suicide. We're done." And you never heard another word from them. End of story. So Something is wrong with that. Completely wrong with that. I'm sorry. All right, Miss Boone. We'll talk to you soon, hon. We love you. I'm about to bring this down. Anyway, guys, we're about done. But these are some things that I would like for you all to think about because we are going to be refreshing this case. The Sean Daughtry case. Summer Wells. Eventually, at some point, I'm going to dabble back into Kylie Rodney's case because I'm not happy with that one either. And of course, we're going to continue talking about the Koberger case, the Idaho 4, as well as Nicola. And we're going to look into this new one that Nikki wanted us to look at and a few other ones too. So we're going to stay busy, folks. We are going to stay busy. Tomorrow night, you guys, we're going to be doing, well, maybe we'll just do the case tomorrow night then. It'll be Friday and we'll just do that one that we were going to do. The movie, I mean, that we were going to do for BTK tomorrow night. I'll be live here tomorrow, as always. It's Friday, and I'll figure out what we're doing for that. You guys will know soon. Remember when they slipped up and said, yeah, in the very beginning of the case, that's true, Red. Very, very beginning of the case, they said that there was something drug related when they got to the scene the first time. That really that threw me off big time, to be honest with you. Why did that come down? What's going on? So, this is all some stuff to think about, folks. Seriously. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to make this thing work. There we go. There we go. Sorry. Thank you so much, Miss Heather. Sipping on some Heather. Don't ask me where that came from, Heather. Sorry. Let me check my email for my Molly cat so she doesn't hiss and squeal at me. And I am in trouble if that happens. I do too, Molly. I agree with you. I think the daughter owed a drug debt, folks. And that the mom, once again, as you saw, that's why I showed you all of that. But that the daughter owed money to somebody that was after here, which is why she left here and went down where her brother lived. And then she came back. They found out. Yeah, hon. I just showed this, hon. And then I showed all the other payments. I just showed this, Molly. It's okay, hon. It's all right. But here, let me show it to you this way. That way you guys can see it a little bit better. There it is. This was a September 10th, 22. They are not going to let me go. I love you. There is a key to the house in the blue flower pot by the door from Steve Collier. Okay. 9/5 of 22. Steve Collier paid Amanda. 8/17 of 22. Steve Collier paid Amanda B for a refill on a script. 8/11 of 22. Steve Collier paid Amanda B. And then on, so on and so forth, like I told you guys. It's just, she was her lifeline. She could not survive without her mother, guys. You're okay, Molly. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I feel she was with her making things, and boom, and she dipped. Yeah, very possible. I mean, it is what it is, dude. I don't know. I have a hard time believing that Debbie would be in like doing meth or doing anything like that. It's very possible. That's not a lot of money to threaten someone's life over. Like, damn, that little bit. But I mean, people kill people over $10, hon. I've seen it happen. So it's not a lot, but some of these people, it's the principle this person has owed me money for 2 years and they just left like I wasn't nothing, and we're going to get you. You know what I'm saying? If you're a tweaker, it is plenty of money to threaten someone, to hurt someone over. That's true too. That's very true too. So, all right, folks, that's going to do it for today. So I want to thank you all for being here with me, as always. I think it was a great discussion. And again, this is what we're going to be doing. When we do these open discussions, we're going to bring back a lot of these older cases and keep them warm and so on and so forth, so that they don't go completely cold, especially the ones that aren't solved. The ones that are solved, but we don't like the answer to it, we're going to figure them out. I get it. It's the principle of the matter. Right. That's exactly it, Jules. Debbie was a businesswoman. Her coworkers would notice that too. That too. I agree with you on that one too, Jen. Thank you for being here, by the way. If anybody has any, please, by the way, guys, please leave something in the comments for me, please. Like and share. And that's the new thing. I guess YouTube wants things shared. If you guys could please share this out, I would greatly appreciate you. I hope so, Pink. I hope so. It's been good. I'm not, knock on wood, but I'm so glad that they did fix it for your guys' sake. But guys, please share this out. Like it, of course. Leave me some DNA. Leave me some comments. All these things are all YouTube requests. So the more you comment on my streams and the more you guys share it out, the better off I'm doing. And the better they will treat me. So please do that all. Guys, if you liked it, I hope you did. And I definitely don't think so either, Molly. But that should do it, guys. I love you guys to death. Moderators, great job, as always. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel, everything you do for the channel. As I told you guys the other day, we are growing. It's a slow-going process, but what's happening, guys, and we're doing good. I'm doing better. All you guys, I want you guys to have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to love yourselves and love each other, guys. Don't change nothing about yourself, because you are the beautiful people. I thank you all once again. I love you all to death. You guys have an amazing day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.